The schools participating in this football playoff game are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by the school boards. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the schools that are members of the Arkansas Activities Association. The Arkansas Activities Association, which is sponsoring this football playoff game, is a voluntary nonprofit educational association of some 500 junior and senior public and private high schools of Arkansas. The regulations which guide these events are adopted by the schools themselves and determine the type of program they believe to be the most desirable for high school youth. The Arkansas Activities Association is one of 50 state organizations that belong to the National Federation of State High School Associations. This association formulates policies, game rules, and standards for inter-school competition. The schools of Arkansas have adopted these rules on eligibility, which correspond to those recommended by the National Federation.
The Arkansas Activities Association believes that athletes are taught many things through sports. In addition to these skills, they learn self-control, ideals of fair play and honesty, respect for authority and for opposing players. To learn these values results in maximum benefits from his or her athletic experiences.
The Arkansas Activities Association supports good sportsmanship. All spectators have a responsibility while watching an athletic contest because their actions influence high school youth. It is important that they display the best of sportsmanship to help instill proper attitudes and ideals in these youth.
The Arkansas Activities Association recognizes that athletes represent more than themselves in an athletic competition. They represent their team.
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
I can hear you.
Check 1 2.
We can hear.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the state semifinal for the 4A classification. I'm Lynn Gregson, alongside of me tonight, Zach Arns. We're coming live for you from Ned Mosley Stadium in Stuttgart, Arkansas, and this is an exciting time tonight. For the first time since 2003, the Prairie Grove Tigers are in the semifinals. And really, probably since the first time in a long time, there's not a team called Shiloh or Pulaski in the Final Four. And that has been a long time since we've seen that, Zach.
It's going to be, it was a long drive down here. I'm glad to be here. And It's got a big game feel to it. I'm actually kind of nervous about this.
Well, it's funny, we're going to talk a lot about the game here. We got it 20 minutes before kickoff. Those that are watching tonight, we appreciate you being with us. Go to pgtigersonline.com. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. Do we have some already out there tonight?
Oh, yeah. Somebody told us the feed wasn't coming through, but that was before we came on. So other than that.
And then we got Phil watching from
Gainesville,
Georgia. And actually, so Phil, thanks for watching tonight. And, we're really looking forward tonight. Zach, you and I had a chance before the game. We got here so early, and we were walking around the field. And I'll tell you, when I saw, and we were standing over there on the Prairie Grove sideline, standing next to Coach Laird, and the team come running on. And there was probably at the time, our stands are full across the way. I don't know if the camera guys have got anything on the crowd. We have a full capacity from the Prairie Grove bunch tonight.
And more on the way.
And more. I think there's still one more bus to be made here. But whenever they got here and the team came onto the field, the crowd just – and we could hear it because we were on there. And it was like, wow, I was sitting there going, if I was playing, I'd be just stoked right now.
A helmet?
I want a helmet, some
pads.
By the way.
You want to run out there, and then one of the funny moments was the team ran out and started their drills. Jared was one of the last guys out of the locker room. And Jared ran by Stuttgart, and Stuttgart definitely took notice.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a moment where they went, wow, he's kind of big.
Yeah. So, but tonight's game, Zach, I think they bring two similar styles. These aren't – I think these are two of the best teams in the state. Obviously, they're in the Final Four. They both have Stuttgart's kind of taken nothing away from what they've done because they are a fantastic team. But they had a bye the first week, took Dardanelle out 54-0, and then beat a very, very good Warren team, and they were unable to score on the defense. I think the 6 points came from a defensive touchdown by Warren. So their defense has been stout. Prairie Grove, on the other hand, pretty easy time will cross it, but then two of the better teams in the state with Pottsville and with
they've turned into the 79 Air Coryell Chargers. It's just been this point explosion, and Prairie Grove's got as we get deeper into the playoffs here, that margin for error starts to shrink. You can't get down 14 points in the second half to this team because this team runs I was watching them during warm-ups. It's not terribly sophisticated offense. It's 2 backs, 3 wide receivers. They're going to spread you out a little bit. They're going to throw the ball. I was watching their quarterback Dontrell Brown throw the ball before the game. He's got a live arm and he's got a lot of receivers who can go get it. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm just looking forward to it.
Well, tonight's looking at Don Dodd is saying, "Let's go Tigers! Pluck some rice birds."
What is a rice bird?
I think it's a bird that comes eat some of the rice that's out
here. Right. Yeah, I didn't know.
And then John says, "Let's go watch them from Prairie Grove." So we got a lot of people out tonight, and we know there'll be plenty coming through. Jacob Birdhold letting us know things are going through well. Zach, as I look at just for real quick at the top part of the bracket and just talk about that a little bit as far as the other side, you got Ozark from our conference who has really caught fire.
Red hot.
And they came in and they defeated Hamburg fairly easily. And then they defeated a Mena team, handed them pretty well, who had beaten Arkadelphia, who a lot of people when the playoffs started thought
Arkadelphia was the team.
Arkadelphia may be the team. And then, of course, they got a chance to rematch with Boonville, and I think they had the mercy rule on them at halftime, and then went on to win 35-14. Highland, who is their opponent, they came in with a win over Arkansas Baptist, but I think their big win, and they beat them by 16 points, was Dollarway.
Yeah.
And Dollarway is in the same
power,
and they're in the same conference here as Stuttgart. Stuttgart beat them 24-14. Highland, I think it was 34-18. So they've done well, and then Highland really handled Heber Springs well. So that side of the bracket is tough as well. We're down to where all the teams are good, and like you mentioned, the margin of error is very, very small.
It is, and Prairie Grove's done a nice job here the last couple of weeks of not turning the ball over, limiting some penalties. However, they've fallen down here in the third quarter. And, we talked about it last week, third quarter being the trouble quarter. Ran some numbers here on the scoring here in the third quarter. Prairie Grove has been outscored 42-20 in the third quarter. However, there's a caveat to this. In the fourth quarter, they've come back and outscored their opponents 56-6, including 27-6 last week against Nashville. I know there were some folks chirping a little bit on Saturday morning that Prairie Grove got lucky or whatever. You know what? You play 4 quarters. At the end of the game, you tally up the score. You don't tally up the score after 3 quarters. Prairie Grove is – I was corrected earlier. I said they're sort of like a vampire. You're going to have to drive a stake in their heart to get them out of here. And I was corrected by a couple of nerds who told me it was zombies. They told me zombies are harder to kill than vampires. I'll take your word for it. But I mean, the best correlation for people of our generation, this is Rocky we're looking at. They may be down. You can knock them around. You may take a couple of shots at them, but they're not going anywhere, and they're going to fight you for 4 quarters. That's what Prairie Grove does. And Stuttgart tonight has to realize that if you're going to play this football team, you're going to play 4 quarters, and it's going to be a dogfight to the end.
Going to give a shout out to Mike Dillingham, who's watching from Fort Hood, Texas, Zach. And last week we had over, I think it was 111 people who watched from Texas last week,
wow.
And 68 from New York. So we're nationwide, buddy.
I love it, and apparently international because we've gotten 4 countries this year too.
Yeah. So it's great, and we again welcome everyone who's watching. Some more about these teams, Zach. I think what we saw, taking nothing away from Stuttgart, I think they got a different offense. Probably not quite as explosive, but much more methodical in their probably approach to the way they go down the field. Much more.
They're going to throw it, but it's. I was watching Brown throw the ball before during warm-ups here, and from 10 to 20 yards, he's pretty good. When the ball gets a little bit further than 20, the ball tends to hang a little bit. It flutters a little bit. That gives Halbert and Elkins a chance to go and go get it. I think even last week we sort of maybe overlooked the performance that Colby had. He had a pick, a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 on a return, 1 on a run. So Colby's hot right now. We haven't heard a lot from Halbert in the playoffs. It's about time for 4 to get back involved. And they've got some big receivers. They've got a young man here. His name's Hunter Harris. He's tall. He's rangy. He can go get the ball. I was watching him a little bit during the pregame, and I would imagine that John's probably going to get matched up on him a little bit. The 2 guys really that make the offense go with the quarterback. He's got 2,500 yards total offense this year, and the young man at running back Tyler Luster. He's right around 900 on the year. Those are the 2 guys. If you can shut those 2 guys down and make them do some other things, you've got as good a chance as anybody. We have to understand that this is a really good football team, and Prairie Grove is a really good football team. Now, it's just time to strap it on and go knock some heads.
You talk about Halbert. One of the things I would give him a lot of credit last week is John. John was guarding a guy had at least 9 inches on him, and
he was 9 feet taller than John was
but John,
week.
I mean, he gave up a couple of plays here and there, but for the most part, John handled that pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
And
outside of the one play at the end of the game, John shut him down.
Yeah, and he knocked away several, and so a lot of credit to John.
Again, I mean, if you want to watch for key matchups, center tonight for Stuttgart, a young man named Spencer Dixon. He's going to go head-to-head with Jared Murphy. There has been nobody in 4A that's been able to block Jared one-on-one and get him going. If Prairie Grove gets Jared going, get some pressure with anybody other than Jared, maybe some guys on the end, Nick Sugg coming from the outside, could be a long night for Stuttgart's offense. They've really got to keep they've got to protect the quarterback, and we've talked.
Okay, if we went down, if you heard silence there for a second, we're doing the national anthem, and also there was just a moment of silence. So bear with us for just a couple of minutes through the national anthem. Okay, we are back with you, and they are allowing the Prairie Grove Tigers to do the alma mater while they do that, Zach. For those that are watching, again, we thank you for watching, and I've seen a couple people here who said they've lost connection. What I would encourage you to do when you lose it is to go back in. We've got a checkpoint here, and we're looking at it. But do remind us if that happens. Want to make sure we keep you informed of the game. Should that happen?
If your picture looks dark, it is. It's very dark. It's going to be tough to see some numbers. I think we'll be all right with Stuttgart, but Prairie Grove could again be a challenge.
Yeah,
I'll have to talk to Coach Absher about those. Get some Sharpies down there and darken those numbers up a little bit.
Well, you were talking about the quarterback earlier, Dontrell Brown, and here's the thing about Dontrell. He has over 2,000 yards of total offense and 1,000 of that on the ground. Yep. So he can pass and throw the ball. He can run and throw.
It's multiple offense, a lot like Florida runs or ran with Tebow. You're going to see him on the ground, and I think the key tonight, I was saying it was the center for Stuttgart, Spencer Dixon's going to have to handle Jared Murphy. If he can't, Jared's going to blow up a lot of plays real fast. That's what happened last week with Nashville. Went back and looked at some of the film, and when the running game slowed down was when Jared was getting penetration. Here comes the second bus, by the way. There's just a mob of students that just arrived. Looks like the second bus made it. But I think for Prairie Grove, defensively, I think that's where the game's going to be won or lost tonight. Is Prairie Grove has got to control the offensive line of Stuttgart. They're big. They're fast. They're strong. They've got to shut down the running game and make Stuttgart one-dimensional. Whether you want to take away the pass or take away the run, they've got to make them one-dimensional and make them predictable. And I think Prairie Grove stands as good a shot as anybody coming in here and getting a win.
Zach, I don't know if that was the other bus or the student section just going around. This atmosphere, I just love it because, I mean, you have a son in high school. I have a couple of kids in high school, and to see what this is doing for the school and the morale around the school and just the town coming down. It's just, this is what small town and high school football is all about. It's a lot of fun.
I was listening to a couple of radio shows on the way down here, and they all seemed surprised that Prairie Grove was here. And then there was a young man who got on from Hootens.com, and he was saying he talked to a couple of coaches from down in the southern part of the state, and they said, you know what? After watching the tape, Prairie Grove's a team that could win it all, and it's going to be a good game, and I'm certainly looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, all the Elder family watching Anticipation Night was glad to meet some of you last week. It was great. Coach Elder's been around here for several years now. I think he's been around here close to 10 years, and he's a fine coach and a fine gentleman in our community. It's always wonderful to be able to watch. And those who are watching tonight, we're going to say this a few times. You'll see at the bottom of your screen the phone number for the school, 479-846-4212. And what we would ask is that if you're enjoying this webcast, next week if we have to, if we are fortunate enough to win tonight and we're able to webcast next week, there is a significant cost for that. And with that, if you would like to find a way to help contribute, please call the school number at 479-846-4212 beginning on Monday. Ask what you can do to help support the webcast next week for the state championship.
I can't believe we just said that for the state championship.
Yeah,
but you got to take care of business here first.
Absolutely,
and worry about that next week.
I don't want to get ahead. I don't want this statement to get us ahead in saying that, but I want to bring that up because we won't be able to make any more announcements after the game's over.
Exactly.
But as the students make the way for the Spirit Line and look at this, I see some of the I actually see some of the parents coming down. This is, oh gosh, this is beautiful. And what an exciting night!
Here come the Tigers. It's a long walk from the field house over to the stadium. It's it's good 300 yards from field house to stadium. But here come the Tigers, and I'm sure that when the fans see them, the crowd will start cheering, and it's game time, man.
Jeff Music, he's back with us. He's a 2009 graduate at Prairie Grove, and he says watching the Tigers, he wants to make it to Little Rock. So do we all. We hope that that's opportunity. And we recognize tonight there may be several throughout the state who are not fans of Stuttgart or Prairie Grove and just enjoy high school football. We welcome you tonight, and we are just moments away. We're about 7 minutes away from the kickoff, and the Tigers are making their way to their tunnel. And, Zach, whenever we were standing out on the field earlier and watched them come out, they came out. There was not this, we're in the semifinal. There was that look of confidence and excitement on the young men's faces. I remind, we've been to the semifinals. I mean, Prairie Grove has had good football history from the standpoint of, we've always competed in our conference well and we do well. But, when it comes to the state level, we have not had the success a lot of other programs in the state has had. But we've made the semifinals first time in '97, now in 2003, and this will be a memorable night regardless of how the outcome. But very, very exciting time. Stuttgart, they've got a nice spirit line out, and we are just moments away. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you've talked about some of the teams that have come before this one. There's never been a team like this. This team is complete, and if they go on and win tonight, they're going to be they'll be the most complete team in War Memorial Stadium next weekend. There's no question about that. They're a complete bunch. They got to play defense tonight. No turnovers, no penalties, and limit the big plays. And I think I think you stand a really, really good chance. I really think they've got to control the ball, and I don't think they want. I was talking with Scott Sugg earlier in the week, and I told him, I said, it's getting to the point where it's first one to 24 might be the winner tonight, because both teams play the same style
of defense.
It could be the first one to 20. I don't anticipate this being a high-scoring game, but I said that when we took on Pottsville.
Well, when you talk about this particular Prairie Grove team, this is the longest, or the longest win streak, or I wouldn't say win streak. They're undefeated through the playoffs. They're 12-0, missing the game with Morrilton. They got stormed out. I wouldn't say rained out. Stormed out was just a blizzard that night.
That was a scary night.
Or not a blizzard, but it's just
monsoon.
And the thing is that this team, Prairie Grove's never been 12-0. And the two teams that made it semifinals had losses. We had another undefeated team back in 01. But this team is they've set some new records at Prairie Grove, and I think they are a very complete team. I think the same thing about Stuttgart.
They are.
Everything I've seen, they're good defensively, they're good offensively, they have some great playmakers. This is just going to be an exciting game.
And what gives you pause is that they shut down Warren, and Warren is they're one of the Cadillac programs in 4A, and to go out and shut down Warren the way you did last week is pretty darn impressive. And Prairie Grove is they're a different animal, and they're going to have to play a complete game. But Prairie Grove certainly has that in them. They've got the offense, they've got the defense. We've seen that all year long. They just have to limit mistakes. Maybe shake off some of the cobwebs from a 6.5-hour bus trip. They practiced at Arkansas Tech this afternoon.
Just to work things out.
Just to work things out. They stopped at McDonald's in Little Rock and charged up and here we go.
Yeah, we're just 4 minutes away from kickoff. One of our good friends that's helped us out over the years, Henry Topp, he's watching tonight. He's ready for a great game. And, again, we remind those that are watching, go to pgtigersonline.com and let us know where you're watching the game from tonight.
Aside from the altitude, our vantage point isn't too bad.
No,
we're in pretty good shape here.
But the dark, it
is dark.
We're gonna apologize ahead of time for the numbers because Prairie Grove in their visiting colors are yellow on white, and the distance that we are from the field and the lighting from the field, we know the players fairly well, so I think we'll do okay.
We'll do okay with them, and fortunately for us, Stuttgart is crimson on white, so that'll be pretty good. But it'll be interesting. I'm ready to get this thing going.
I am.
You know what? They should just give us helmets and let us just headbutt up here before the games or something, because we've got to work out some excitement too. The whole ride down, was going over things in my head, talking to myself. And I'm ready to play some football.
Someone named Craig ready to watch and listen to the voice. Well, thanks for the first time watching. I hope you enjoy it tonight, Craig. We are just very excited, just moments away.
Are you going to survive this weekend?
Yes, I told my son.
You've got a big weekend ahead of you.
And now both fans, there's cowbells. We have a fairly solo cowbell person who makes enough noise for a crowd. They've got a few over here tonight in Ricebird land.
Walking through, it's lots of camo and cowbells. That I guess you're here in duck country. So there was a young lady down there. She couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 years old with a what do they call those things? A duck call thing. You can tell I do a lot of hunting. I don't know. She's one of those things. And I told her if that continued, I might have to break it.
Well, looking out there is the. Finding out who's going to get the ball here.
It is just really dark.
Looks like Stuttgart is going to get the ball first. They'll receive. They've
won the toss and received. Interesting.
Very similar to Prairie Grove last week. And
I was watching Landon during pregame warm-ups. 52 yards was the long he hit from.
wow. And look, the Tiger fans are out there. They're excited. We're excited.
The Tiger fans are out there, and the stands are still full.
That's what's amazing.
It's
fantastic. I can't see from here the camera work here, but I'm telling you, we have brought a lot of people here tonight.
We brought at least, just ballpark in here, we brought at least 2,000. Easy. You think?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but we brought a lot.
Well, it's sort of like Chicago voting. You take the actual number and double.
Well, here we go. We're down to just 57 seconds before game time, and
You be all right?
Yeah, I'm ready.
They don't have a defibrillator up here, so if you pass out, I can't help you.
Well, Kendall Lehman, I call him the godfather of our webcast. He's the guy. He's watching tonight. He says looks good, not dark from the field, so that's good.
Okay, good.
And that's good to know. So those that are watching, it is a little dark. Here come the Prairie Grove Tigers onto the field. Look at that crowd. Oh, and it's exciting tonight. And there's Cooper Winters, the quarterback, leading out along with Jared Murphy.
Jared's easy to pick out. The rest of them, Jared's bigger than everybody else. He's easy to see. The rest of them are. It's going to be a struggle.
Well, let's see, Lindsay. Gosh, we just had a big rush here of folks. Coach McDonald, she's watching. She's excited. That was Craig Battles. Craig, I do know some other Craigs, sorry. Morgan Abernathy, Lindsay West Kennedy, watching from Lubbock, Texas. And this is exciting.
Let's just do this.
Oh,
I want to run down and tackle the radio guys from Stuttgart just to say hello. Just to, I don't know. Let's get this on.
Well, Landon Allen will be the one that kicks for the Tigers. The Stuttgart fans and their players, they're excited. And we remind you that on the other side of the bracket night, the other team who will be in the finals is either Highland or Ozark. But we're worried about this game right now.
But on the way down here on 40, I passed a bunch of hillbillies. Passed many vehicles with hillbillies, and they were all heading north. Actually saw tailgated Landon's dad on the way down here for a while. I'm not going to tell you what the sign on the back of his car said. He's got a very nice car. Sign wasn't nice. I don't think Landon knows what his dad calls him. I'll just put it that way.
Oh boy,
Lando Commando.
Oh boy.
I saw a lot of Tiger fans on the way down. I must have been going really slow because they were all passing me.
Well, if our camera guys get a chance at some point, show the crowd tonight. We brought a packed house, and getting ready to kick is Landon Allen. The referees are getting ready, and with a 25 seconds clock has started, and Zach, the semifinal for the state.
Thank goodness! After a week
playoffs,
of talking about it,
we've talked. We've read enough Fearless Friday that I'm sick of reading all the talk.
Beyond sick of it. All right, boys. Good coverage, good tackling.
Back deep. Draylon Ice is back deep. And here's the kick, and it's going to go to Ice. He fumbles it there right around the 5-yard line, and here he comes. And the Tigers wrap him up about the 25-yard line. Excellent coverage on the kickoff by the Tigers.
You always worry about the first play. You always worry about the first play. Everybody's going to be nervous. Knees are going to be knocking a little bit. You want to get off to a nice start here.
Dalton Falk on the tackle on the kickoff. 1st and 10 for the Riceburgs. Ball at their own 25. Dontrell Brown is the quarterback. Over 2,000 yards total offense, 1,000 on the ground. So he will be, there he is. He gets the ball in the first play. He's got a little room. He's going to be hit right around the 30-yard line and brought down there. Jared Murphy, one of the tacklers.
We're going to give him 5 on that one. That's what they do. I mean, they had the fullback tucked up behind the guard. They run just a quick. It's just a lead play. It's just a straight power play, and see how many bodies you can get in the hole, and see how many yards you can get. Now they have a lot of fakes off of that, a lot of play action. Defensive backs have got to stay deep.
Creighton Ledbetter also helping out on that tackle, and now in motion is Ice. And now Brown's going to keep again. He's got the first down and more. He's going to be close to the 40. And now several Tigers tackle him. He's going to get up to about the 42, 43. That's a play, Zach. Good, solid blocking there by the Ricebirds. And that play didn't look like it was that long, but he just picked up 12 yards.
Yeah, and that's that's the old Florida offense. It's run first, pass second, and they're gonna have to start getting some penetration. They're doubling Jared in the middle to get him out of there. You're gonna see 2 or 3 guys hitting Jared at the same time. That just means there's 8 other Tigers that have to make a play.
I'll go to the comments page here after this play. 1st and 10 for the Ricebirds. Ball at their own 42. Brown again. He's going to keep. He's going. They're going to the same place, and he just falls for about another 5 yards. They're just running right at the Tigers. That's Jared Murphy on the tackle. Also helping out Brandon Taylor.
Now this is where you got to be careful. The same play 3 times in a row.
Big Paris watching. Good luck Tigers, pulling for you. Big fan watching from Monticello. Tanya Dobbs cheering for the Tigers. Chad Battles, graduate from last year's, commenting on the Lando Commando. Tina and Darren Burglar, the Bartholomew's watching. Okay, 2nd down and 5, and there's Ice going to hand it off this time, and it just bowls his way forward. Nice run there. That's number 18. That's Tyler Luster. He's a 5'7", 225 junior.
That's a fire hydrant.
And a nice run there.
Okay, Prairie Grove just needs to settle down. We've been here before.
Yep.
Just settle down. They're not blitzing a lot because I think they're worried about the play action.
Yeah, I mean when you got a kind of a dual threat like they have with Brown, you kind of got to respect that. And now here's Brown. He's going to go over the left side, and he's just getting 5 yards a pop there. Dalton Falk coming in to help out on that tackle.
Spot him down at the 40.
Jacob Call also helping out. He may have picked up 4 yards that time. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. Ball at the Prairie Grove 41.
I think we see what the game plan is for Stuttgart. They're just going to take the ball and pound it straight ahead and see how many yards they can get. If you're picking up 3 and 4 and 5 yards on a carry, that's pretty darn good. You just got to be careful. Halbert and Colby, they've got to stay deep. Prairie Grove actually doing something a little different tonight. They've got 2 safeties in the game, something they have not done
Here
very
comes,
much of.
Now he broke through that initial line. He got through the initial. There was pretty good penetration that time, Zach, but he got through it. And that's going to give him a first. That gives Stuttgart a 1st down. Ball at the Prairie Grove 27.
Prairie Grove has changed their defense. They've gone to a 2 safety look. I'm not sure what they're seeing on the game film, but they've played 2 safeties very infrequently this year. They're playing them both down the hashes. Looks like a 2 deep shell. That's going to take one guy out of the box.
Well, that was just a power. We actually had decent penetration, but once he got through, you could see there was going to be yardage gain.
You know they're going to take a shot here on play action because Prairie Grove's starting. Yeah, now they're back to the 1 safety look and 8 guys in the box.
And now here comes Brown again over the right side. He's hit. He's going to not get that much this time. Maybe a couple of yards there. Several of the Tigers helping out.
Okay, the PA guy's annoying. It took officially 3 minutes, and I'm tired of him.
We're down to 8 minutes to go here in the.
And this is Stuttgart's MO. They want to shorten the game. It's the same thing Prairie Grove does, just from different formations.
The least amount of yards they've gotten so far, 2 yards that time, and now in motion is Johnson, and now here comes Brown and he's hit, and he's not going to get but a couple that time.
Mark him down at the 21.
Several of the Tigers in there. That was Creighton Ledbetter was one of the tacklers. Also helping out Dalton Falk. So we got 3rd down. Well, it's 3rd and 4. He picked up a little more than I thought that time.
They've run 8 plays. 7 of them have been runs by Brown. This is where you got to be careful and not get sucked in.
It's 3rd down and 4. But I'll tell you this: if I'm Stuttgart right now, they ain't stopped it yet.
No,
so
you're probably in 2-down territory.
You stayed with a girl you took to the dance right now. And now in motion, here he comes again. He's got the 1st and more. He's going to be down close to the 15. And another Ricebird 1st down, and they're just pounding right at Prairie Grove right now with 7 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, Prairie Grove's being real cautious with the motions. You wonder when they're going to start dialing up those blitzes and trying to break up the middle.
Well, at some point you got to change up a little bit. We have someone who was stuck in Rogers with traffic, unable to watch. So First down and
Had
10.
that happened before.
I'm not sure. They're in the I formation. It looked like it had some movement.
Motion there.
And now it's ice. He breaks the initial tackle, then he's brought down. Jacob Call on the tackle. Picks up 5 yards. I thought I saw a little movement there. No call.
I did too. I thought the tight end on the near side jumped a little bit, but Prairie Grove needs a negative play here to slow this down.
Yeah, their least amount so far has been 2 yards. Everything else has been 4 to 6 yards. No, and then there was the 12-yard run. So they've just been, going along. They've held the ball,
yeah.
half of the first quarter. They've almost it's already half of the way through the first quarter, and this is their first drive. Started at their own 25. They're now at the Prairie Grove 10-yard line. And here's Brown over the right side. He's got some room, but he's hit.
They're not compensating when Stuttgart overloads that one side. They had 2 tight ends and the fullback to one side. Prairie Grove's not shifting over. That may be a read on Brown's part, but if you're going to outnumber them, you might as well just keep running.
Logan Bartholomew on the tackle, but that's going to be first and goal from the Prairie Grove 5-yard line. So 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Stuttgart is just driven right down the Tigers, right down the field on the Tigers from the I formation. Under center is Brown. Now in motion is Johnson, and this time they're going to hand it. That is Luster. Luster's close. He's short. Luster's down to about the 2-yard line, so it's going to bring up second and goal from the 2. 4:58 to go here in the first quarter, and the Tigers hadn't even sniffed the ball yet.
Not yet. No, they've done a nice drive here. It's 12 plays, 73 yards, and we're approaching, 7 minutes and 15 seconds with the ball.
4 minutes, 43 seconds. The ball. And here's Brown over the right side, and he's hit. He's in the end zone for the Ricebirds. So the Ricebirds go 75 yards in 7 minutes and 27 seconds, and they strike Pay Dirt first. It's 6-0, and now the extra point.
I didn't see a lot of the kicker during pregame, but Prairie Grove's going to have to compensate for that. You don't see a lot of teams run the ball straight up the middle.
Right, and then the kicker's Marco Lara. Hunter Harris on the hold, and the kick is on the way. It looks good. No good. Hey, that's the angle I like. So the kick is no good, but the Ricebirds, 75-yard drive, 7 minutes, 27 seconds, and they take the lead first, 6-0. Now the Tigers will have the opportunity. Let's take a timeout. The score, Stuttgart 6, Prairie Grove 0.
Statue of us and put it on a mountaintop.
All right, we're back with you. Got Brooke and Caitlin watching from Mountainburg. They're telling Noah Hunter to go tonight.
Home of the Dragons. Well, Prairie Grove's going to have to adjust a little bit defensively. They didn't do anything terribly complex or exotic. It was 12 lead plays.
They just did a nice job of blocking. It's
running the football. That's
just a nice job. Here's a good kick. And that is Bartholomew. Weston's going to get close to about the 25-yard line.
A lot of running.
I hope we don't get to see that play much tonight. I don't want a lot of kickoffs.
Yeah. That young man, he had to run from probably somewhere around England to come kick that thing. Was he 5'5", 132? Where'd they mark that?
They marked it at 22.
Well, Prairie Grove's got to answer. That's for sure.
First and 10 for the Tigers. Cooper Winters comes under center in their normal wing tee, and there's Bartholomew on the first play, and Weston's going to get a couple of yards. Wayman Johnson on the tackle for the Ricebirds. So the Tigers definitely need to answer here. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
No need to panic. Run your offense here, but you certainly like to come back and answer a score with a score. That's for darn sure. This, Prairie Grove's offense is as dynamic as any in the state. They run it as well as anybody.
There's Weston again. He's hit right up the middle. That's going to be nothing going there. Number 50, Cody Cooper. He stopped that up. Cody Cooper's 5'11", 260, and he plugged that hole up real well.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for Creighton. He's going to have to get some help on the inside.
Well, it's 3rd down and 7, and now with under 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, we haven't seen a pass yet in this game. Stuttgart drove right down the field rushing the ball, and now 3rd down and 7, and Cooper Winters. Cooper had a little time there. Number 10 kind of stripped the ball away from him, and that was Reagan Counts. And Cooper dropped the ball, just had to do the wise thing and fall on it. And
not a good start, but hopefully you get a good kick here from JD and get your defense back on the field and get a stop.
And I think right now the way they drove down the field, Prairie Grove's going to need a stop to get some confidence.
Yeah, you don't want them draining another 6 minutes off the clock, that's for sure.
Yeah, because with that kind of time running and Prairie Grove going 3 and out, your defense is right back up. You can't do that for 4 quarters. You will,
This will be over in a hurry.
And JD is going to
fumble.
And the Tigers have it. I believe they're going to have the.
Yes, sir.
And the Tigers have it. They needed a break after that drive that the Rice Birds had. They had a great drive and then hold Prairie Grove to 3 and out. Now the Tigers get a fumble and a turnover. That's going to be a huge momentum swing for the Tigers because their body language is already saying, "Oh my gosh, what are we into tonight?"
I don't know what he was thinking, but we'll take it.
1st and 10 for the Tigers and a big break for Prairie Grove. We remind those that are watching, go to pgtigersonline.com, the comments page. Let us know where you're watching from. And right now, I got to say the Rice Birds are doing a good job against the Prairie Grove run and attack.
Who was that? Who was that?
JD Speed on the carry. He may have gotten a yard.
Yeah, Prairie Grove's going to have to poke and prod here. Stuttgart's very, very tough up front.
And they're not getting much there between the tackles right now. And
I'm surprised we haven't seen the sweep with JD or Weston or Logan yet.
Well, the Rice
Stuttgart's very, very stout. In their 3-man line, they're very, very stout.
Well, the Tigers now split, and here.
That's what you want to see.
That's Colby Elkins. Elkins with the first big gain of the night for the Tigers. Elkins going to be close to the 33-yard line. And he's going to pick up a Tiger 1st down, and that's really what the Tigers needed.
Yeah, and he may be the guy tonight that's got the hot hand. I think that if you're Coach Absher, you ride the hot hand. Colby was hot last week.
At the fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter was his.
We haven't seen Colby in weeks.
On offense,
And then all of a sudden, it's like 4th quarter last week, he just exploded. And right there, his speed got him to the corner.
Colby's he's a legitimate 4.6 guy. Not that I know what a 4.6 looks like, but if a 4.6 was run, I know he can do it.
Bartholomew at fullback. Winters under center. And they're going back to Weston. And Weston, there's just not much going up front there for the Tigers. I'll tell you, number 50, Cody Cooper, is really, like I said, he's 260, and
they're smaller to the outside. If you look at their corners and their outside linebackers, they're small. And you might be able to get some things on the outside, but up the middle, they're really struggling with Curtis.
2nd down and 10. No gain on the play.
But I think you got to keep plugging away with Weston. All the play action is based off what Weston can do.
Yeah, because now Cooper rolling to his right. He's got a man open. That's Halbert on the catch.
I can't tell you who it is.
And we apologize if we're missing these tonight.
It was Dalton.
It was Dalton Falk. I apologize ahead of time, just so you know from our distance. And the yellow on the white, it is really hard to see the Prairie Grove numbers. Most of the time we know the players and can see them just by their body size. What body size tonight, a little more difficult. 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers. Ball sitting at the Ricebird 27. And here's Elkins again. Can he catch the corner? He's not going to make it. He's actually going to lose a couple of yards there. So it's going to bring up 4th down for the Tigers. Actually, they're going to call him no gain on the play, so he's going to get to the 27. It's going to be 4th down, 4 to go.
You hate to say play in the first quarter is a big play, but on 4th and 4 here,
I think
you get a turnover.
Would you go ahead and let the clock?
He ran out of bounds. So
he ran out.
So you've got to run the play.
So the play, this will be should be the final play of the first quarter. And now Cooper rolling to his right, got a little time. He slipped. Cooper slipped. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Winner slips down around the 36-yard line.
They say he fumbled that?
Yeah, he did fumble it, but you saw him kind of slip. And he tried to catch himself. I think he left the ball there.
Yeah. Maybe in that situation, you go into the shotgun and take away the the opportunity for the slip. But where'd they mark the ball though?
Ball's going to be marked at
36.
Well, Prairie Grove unable to capitalize on the turnover, and that's the end of the first quarter.
That may be the fastest first quarter in the history of football.
At the end of one quarter, the Prairie Grove Tigers are trailing 6-0. Let's take a timeout. Okay, we're back with you now. The Ricebirds. There's Ice. And there, now Murphy and several of the other Tigers in to stop. Only a couple-yard gain there.
Yeah, Prairie Grove's missing a lot of tackles on the, Dalton was there and missed the tackle. We're just a little not as sharp as you'd like to be. Can't start slow tonight, though.
No, it would be. I mean, we've gained some confidence in a couple of games now with coming back in the fourth quarter. Looking at the way this team plays, we will not be able to do that tonight, just because of the style of offense they have.
Yeah, they're going to drain as much time off the clock as possible. And Prairie Grove's got to be careful now. They're starting to suck everybody in with the running.
And now here comes a blitz this time, and they're going to get Brown, and Brown gains maybe a yard on the play to the 40. It's going to be 3rd down and 6.
And this is the situation you want to put them in, is a 3rd and long and make Brown throw the ball. You don't want them in those 3rd and shorts because it just gets frustrating. It's maddening after a while if you can't stop on them. You stop them on 3rd and 2, they're getting 4 yards at a clip. Now you put them in a situation where maybe they're not as comfortable. You can dial up the pressure with your front 4.
We got some folks cheering from Fayetteville, North Carolina for Connor West tonight. And now there's Brown, and Brown's got room. He's got a lot of room. Brown over the 50, down to about the Prairie Grove 44-yard line. Stephanie Mitchell also watching from Siloam Springs tonight. Dalton Phillips from Iselton, California. So several people watching tonight appreciate it. Like to see some turnaround for him and maybe a little bit better show from the Tigers.
Wayman Johnson, the big running back, hobbling off. Looks like an ankle or a hamstring here.
So the Ricebirds now have 1st and 10 at the Prairie Grove 44. And that time, that is Luster. He gets not much going that time. You know, the thing is, we were talking a little bit about the Stuttgart in the pregame. They had a loss this year to Lone Oak. I have not figured that one out yet.
I asked about that. Brown was hurt during that game. As you can see, through a quarter in a couple of minutes here, he's their offense.
Yeah.
He's 12 carries to this point for 75 yards, and he was injured in that game, didn't play.
Well, that answers a lot of
that'll
questions.
pretty much slow them down.
2nd down and 10 for the Ricebirds. They've kind of moved the ball fairly well. Prairie Grove has yet to have a negative play on the Ricebirds. That was no game, but no negative yet. And now the first pass of the night, he's looking, and there is Elkins. Elkins is beat deep, and he is touchdown Ricebirds.
Colby got caught looking in the backfield.
Nice play call there by Stuttgart, and the Ricebirds have stretched the lead 12-0.
And Colby bit on the fake. He was looking in the backfield and lost space with the ice. And you can't do that. You got to play the scheme. You got to play discipline.
And a nice play there. Watching from Nashville, Arkansas, Richard and Judy Johnson, we welcome you. Jacinda watching from Springdale. She is.
Looks like they're going to go for 2.
Well, they're 12-0, and they've moved the ball very well tonight. And they're going to call a timeout. 12-0. Tigers are going to have to get something going on the offensive side.
Yeah, they're going to have to, and they look a little stiff. They look like they've been sitting on a bus all afternoon, and there's no fire. Colby had the play, but when the pump fake came, he got caught looking in the backfield. Ice got separation from him, and Colby thought he had a play on the ball. He just didn't realize how far behind him.
Yeah, he didn't
realize.
You're exactly right, because even as you watch the play develop, I kind of thought he had a play on the ball for a minute too, and then I looked. I'm like, holy smoke, he's behind him 6 yards.
He was behind him 5 yards, and you can't do that. You got to stay with your man, stay in his pocket. And when his eyes go up, your hands go up. That's they haven't been in a hole like this.
Not this early.
Not this early. I mean, this has been. They've got to come back and get some. They got to get their offensive line going because they're having trouble moving Stuttgart off the ball.
Well, it's been all Riceburg so far tonight. I mean, they had one big mistake on a punt that they bobbled the punt or fumbled the punt. Prairie Grove got it and was unable.
There was an opportunity there
and unable to convert.
Stalled.
Now the Ricebirds going for the 2-point conversion. They move Johnson back. He's in motion now. Here is the pitch.
Nope.
And that was Ice, and Ice did not make it in there. $12-0, the Ricebirds lead, and
this is important.
With 9:31 to go, the Tigers going to need to make a move here.
This is a huge drive. You've got to take some time off the clock, get your defense some rest, and you got to get points on the board. To this point, Stuttgart's run 18 plays for 139 yards. They're averaging 7.7 yards per play.
We have those cheering for Dalton Falk from French Settlement, Louisiana.
Wow, imagine that, a French settlement in Louisiana.
Nora McCormick, sorry she couldn't make it tonight, cheering from home. And Jeff, I share your sentiment. Jeff Music on here saying ouch. And
yeah.
Yep, it did that.
They're all right. They just got to settle down.
Yep, and the thing is, I think they need something positive. I thought we may have had it with a punt a while ago, but now the Tigers.
Logan, excuse me.
Logan's going to get close to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Tigers are going to start 1st and 10, and they need something. They need pay dirt this time.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to get crazy and start going 5 wide and throwing the ball all around the place. You got to stick with what got you here, which is running the football. This is a team that during the regular season averaged under 10 pass attempts per game. And go back to what's got you here, which is running the football.
Well, looking at the stats tonight, Prairie Grove with 9 plays for 7 yards, and Stuttgart only had 18 plays, 139 yards. They've been dominant thus far. Now the Tigers. There is Weston Bartholomew. Bartholomew makes a little move. There's Weston at the 40, 45. Bartholomew. Oh! Weston lowered the boom that time. That was Courtney Carroll going after him, and Weston just lowered his head and said, "I'm going here."
Courtney, you're going to lose that battle every time. That's Weston lives to run into things.
That was a big gain there for the Tigers.
That's a big. I mean, that's bigger than just the 25 yards he got. That's a big confidence boost.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at the 45. Only the Tigers' second first down of the game. 9 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the second quarter.
But I think this is what they got to do: is be yourself here. Don't get crazy.
And now that is J.D. Speed, and Speed. He's going to get close to 5 yards. There we go.
Finding some room.
That's what you need to do. You just got to get back in this thing. 12-0. Stuttgart leading right now, but the Tigers picks up 6 yards as J.D. Speed.
Hey, look, there are no 12-point plays. You got to get 6 at a time or 7 at a time. You got to work your way back into this. Your defense has got to stop them, which is proving to be a little bit more difficult than we thought it would be. But you can't. You got to get points here, and then see where this goes. This team will not quit.
Now there is Weston again, and Bartholomew hit.
He missed the hole.
Number 54, that's Spencer Donaldson.
Weston had the hole back towards the center.
He's going to maybe, I think they're going to mock him right there. No gain on the play, so it's going to be third. Well, they maybe stepped him back. So it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
I think you're in 2-down territory. I think you got to get 4 or 5 yards to have a realistic shot.
Donaldson 6'2", 233. So
that's a big boy.
So 3rd down, 5 to go for the Tigers. A long 5.
I think we got Colby down here at the flanker spot.
Now here's Winters. He throws back. There's big Jared Murphy. Jared Murphy. He's got the first down. He's down to the 25.
Nice.
I think Jared was so open he didn't know what to do. Almost.
And I think the young man who tackled him didn't know what to do with Jared either. You see Jared coming down the middle. That's not a good thing. You're gonna get punished.
Do you know what I hear from across the way? I hear the cowbell.
Yep, the cowbell made it. That was a good throw. That was good. Cooper looked off his first and second option and came back to Jared. And I think Jared's a guy right now that creates some mismatches. If you look at the secondary for Stuttgart, they're small.
Shiloh fan pulling for us tonight, and I'll come back to that in just a moment. There's Weston Bartholomew again. Weston, he's going to pick up a couple. Shiloh fan pulling for you guys from Springdale. Watched last week in Nashville. We've always liked Coach Absher. Never whined like most. He's talking about Coach Absher. He never whined about most of them. He just rolled up his sleeves and went against Shiloh. Always good to compete, and look where they are now. And, you know, we have an 8-9 record against Shiloh. And that, I mean, we're 1 game below 500 and already over the years of playing Shiloh.
Still harping on that, aren't you?
I would like.
A good rivalry.
I'd like to try to even it up. Anyway, here we go. 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. Now Cooper, he's back to pass.
Oh, he's got Jared.
Overthrows.
Jared's tall. He's not that tall. And now you put yourself in the 3rd and long here.
3rd and long. This is definitely probably going to be a passing down here for the Tigers.
I think you got to get 5. I think you're definitely in 2-down territory here, and whatever play can get you 5 yards, I think that's the one you need right here. If it's the sweep with JD or with Logan, that's certainly an option. I always like the quick pitch that they run with Weston to the outside, just that quick thing to the outside. Maybe go with a little sugar huddle. They got JD in the backfield now.
And now Cooper rolling to his right. He's got time. He throws into coverage.
Oh, you can throw the flag.
No flag on the play. That was ice on the coverage. And I think that might be Noah Hunter down.
Ice went up over his back before the ball got there. I'm not sure what the referee was looking at.
Traylon Ice on the coverage, and the Tiger fans don't like that. I can hear them from across the way.
It was clearly interference. I mean, he was up over his back before the ball got there.
I can't get the number there. Is it Falk? Maybe I think that's Dalton Falk.
Yeah, it might be.
The camera guy's telling me it's number 10. That is Drew Conley. And we apologize on these numbers tonight. It
is hard.
It is very
really
the yellow on the
see.
white and the distance is just makes it a little difficult here tonight.
We don't have the benefit of looking at the monitors either because they're in the room next to us.
Well, I wish we could explain our setup here a little bit, but we're a pretty good distance from our producer tonight.
Well, 4th and 8. I think the field goal's out the window at this point. And do you spread them out?
I think you do, and I think you need several options on this particular pass play.
Well,
but Cooper's coming under center. They're in the wing tee. Cooper throws back.
Throwback.
Get upfield. He's got the first down.
Is that JD? No. Yeah, that's JD. It's a good play. They haven't shown that in a couple of weeks. Yep,
Speed on the reception.
Whoo, take a deep breath.
Well, that was a big play because you had 4.
Cooper.
Yeah, it was a big down. I mean, it was 4th down and 8. Now the Tigers just outside the Riceburg 10-yard line.
I think they've settled down a little bit. I think they're in the game now.
6 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. There is Bartholomew. He's going to get nothing going up. He may have got to the 10, maybe picked up a yard.
You got to keep giving it to him. Just because of his big playability, you got to keep giving it to him and let him take his shots. And eventually, I mean, we've seen him for 2 years up here. We know he's going to bust one sooner or later. He got 2 out of that.
Just give a shout out to Dale Reed. He's watching tonight. He's he's been such a big help to the webcast through PG Telco. And remind you, after this play, I want to bring something up about PG Telco. Okay, here's Cooper Winters under center. This time Cooper, he keeps. Nothing going there. He's going to get maybe to the 9. But if you would, go to PG Telco and go to their Facebook page and let us know if you enjoy the webcast. PG Telco has done so much for the webcast and helping provide the server, some of the equipment over the years, and just appreciate all that they do. 3rd down, 7 to go from the 9-yard line. Tigers can get a first down without getting a touchdown.
Your favorite play. What you got here, Coach? Yep, we're going to spread them out. I think you got a mismatch down here with Halbert. They're playing him. They're shading him to the inside.
Nothing going. Number 56, that is Chris Hooks. He's 6'3", 234. And I wonder if they're going to go get some kind of points here and bring Landon out. They're going to bring Landon out. They're going to try to get something here. This will be about, let's call it about a 27, 28-yard attempt.
It's from the left hash, which should benefit Landon. You just need a good snap. We haven't seen a fake all year.
Need this kick. Good snap. No good. And that's going to take a little bit of starch out of the shirt of the Tigers.
Yeah, it really is. Landon was hitting from 50 during pregame. But that's that's a big miss. Because now you've set up Stuttgart with 4.5 minutes to go. To certainly, I mean, that was Prairie Grove's most impressive drive to this point. That drive went 12 plays, 60 yards, and you come away empty. It's disappointing, but you got them pinned deep.
And what you can't do is give up another touchdown before the half. Now we get the ball to start the second half. If we could get the ball back one more time, Zach, it would be a good thing. But now we definitely, there is Brown. He's going over the right side. He's hit. He picks up a couple yards. And they're doing nothing fancy here, Zach.
No, it's power football. They're Brown's just following his halfback and his fullback, and it's just a straight lead play. And Prairie Grove they're not overshifting towards the fullback, which I'm sure that Stuttgart's waiting for. But they've got to get better penetration. They've got to get him in the backfield and stop that momentum.
Second down, let's call it 2nd and 8 for the Ricebirds. And here's Brown again. And did we get him for a loss? He may have got back to original line of scrimmage.
I think he got one on that. Nope. You're going to leave him right there. You know what I saw Nick do on that play?
Nodier helping out on the tackle there. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 7 to go for the Ricebirds. Need to stop right here and get the ball back.
You know what's creating space is when they run that motion. Nick's motioning out or starting to flex out with the guy that's coming in motion to stop the speed sweep, and Brown's just cutting right back up inside him with 2 blockers in front of him.
I'll tell you this. I think Luster's a load in there.
He is.
They're going to hand it to –
That's Ice, and they got him.
And now the Tigers –
That's a good play. That's good defensive
That's a good defensive place on Draylon Rice. So now – they'll get the ball back, and they'll probably, I imagine the Ricebirds will let it run down to, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
That's Hampshire may be interested in using the timeout here.
So the Tigers will get it with a couple.
Are they going? Are you kidding me?
This is
no, it's a quick kick.
They blocked it. And there he goes. That's
Jacob.
That's big.
Run, Jacob. There he
goes.
Touchdown.
It's in the end zone. Touchdown, Prairie Grove.
Very nice.
Wow.
Jared,
oh, my.
Jared
Give him 6. Give him 6, baby.
That was Jared. Wow.
It was Jacob Call.
Very nice.
Jacob Call. Oh, my.
No, nice. Very, very,
I
very
couldn't
nice.
tell. We don't have instant replay. I think it was Nodier.
It was Jared that
got the ball,
Yep.
and then Jacob Call bringing
know,
the ball in. And what a break. The Tigers, and I'll tell you this, Stuttgart will still boast that no one scored on the defense of them yet. And that's good.
Not in 2 weeks anyway.
Brandon Nodier was the one who got the tackle. But,
Nodier?
so Nodier gets it. Now Landon Allen with a chance to pull the Tigers within 5. It's 12-6, 2:29 to go. And the Tigers needed something, and there's the extra point on the way. Ooh. And it's good.
That's good. that was a knuckleball. I couldn't tell.
We'll take it, and now
Sure.
with 2:29 to go, the Tigers have new life. If they can hold them here, they get the ball to start the second half.
Well,
and now here we go.
How about a 3 and out and get the ball back?
Thank you, PG Telco. Good job, boys. The game's still on. And now we're getting a lot of comments. And, again, we want to remind you now it's very early, not counting our chickens before they hatch, and definitely in this game we couldn't do this. But next week, if we're able to pull this out, there's a significant cost to having a webcast for the state championship. If you're interested in contributing to help to that, please call the school, 479-846-4212, and let them know how you may be able to help and contribute beginning Monday. And, of course, we got to get out of this thing alive. We got a long way to go. But
I think for Prairie Grove, they just want to get this thing to the fourth quarter. Let's see where we are in the fourth quarter, and then we'll take our chances in the fourth quarter. That block and return helps a ton.
Well, one of the things I saw there, Zach, whenever they lined up, I thought he's not back that far, and Prairie Grove's bringing some folks.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to do. I mean, when they came out of the huddle, we thought they were going for it, and he backed up a couple of steps.
But he didn't back up far.
Not far enough, apparently.
Well, with 2:29 to go here in the first half, the Tigers with a big play. And the way this game has went, the Tigers really needed a big play right there. And now Landon Allen preparing to kick. And here is Allen with the kick. Going to get a good deep kick. Ice is going to take it. It bounces. He takes it right at his 10-yard line. And
Landon makes the tackle.
Landon Allen, the kicker, makes the tackle. And if he hadn't have made it, Ice may have seen 6.
You can't have that kind of breakdown in special teams. They've been pretty good tonight.
Let's see. They're going to spot him. They're going to spot him right at the 37-yard line. I respect the officials, but I think sometimes when they're not sure, they just place it on a yard line because I don't think he was at the 37. I think he got a little further out. So here we go. It's first.
But hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. 2:21, 1st and 10. Ricebirds at their own 37. Brown's going to give it to Luster. Luster, big back. He gets up to the 45. Tyler Luster, he's
a load.
Again, he is 5'7", 225. And like you call him a fire hydrant. He is just
fire hydrant with arms.
He picks up 8 on that play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 2.
Prairie Grove's got to they got to get a negative play here and prolong this and see if you can. I mean, if you can get in at 12-7 and get the ball first in the second half, that's huge. You can't give up something big here.
And here is Ice in motion. Now Brown looking. He's going on Bobby Cat. Oh, he's got it, and that is going to be John Curtis. Touchdown, Ricebirds.
Bobby stopped running. He stopped running. He got the free safety. Logan just took a shallow angle at the receiver, and he undercut Bobby, and Bobby stopped running.
Well, I'll tell you, that was they do such a good job running the football. And if you think about the setup there, you had 2nd down, maybe a yard and a half, and it looked like a running play. They looked like they were going to run, and then to run that play action off of that, Zach, it was a good play.
There's
nice call.
There's nothing complex about what they're doing. Prairie Grove's just got breakdowns in the secondary right now, something we haven't seen for 12 games.
Well, and no disrespect to Colby or to Bobby, but they have stayed away from number 4 side.
Oh, yes, they have.
And now Brown comes under center, and he's going to take it. He's looking to throw, and that one's knocked away.
Down.
So, Zach, the thing about this, while we may have missed the field goal a while ago, a touchdown and 2-point conversion here, we're only 3 down. So,
they've got to get some things going. They've got to get some stops on defense. I think Stuttgart's had the ball 4 times. They've scored 3 times, and they've been on big plays. There have been big plays in each drive. There's some breakdowns in the secondary they've got to get corrected, and then they've got to get more physical at the point of attack and slow down the running game.
We have, let me go here, Mandy Hunt loving the field replay camera. Let's see, Mallory Mounts and Jenna Ennis watching. Good job, boys. Come on. Megan in, the whole town is behind you. There are so many people who are watching tonight. We appreciate it. I think we're going to set some records tonight. I feel like we're at home right now here in House of Pain. Jump out there, Zach. I had to look for a minute and go, are we in Prairie Grove?
Where's Jake when you need him?
St. Maximus. Someone coming out and saying Ricebird's holding on the first down. He's a St. Maximus. Not sure who he is, but he's a former player for Prairie Grove. And now kick. That is
it's Logan.
Logan's got the ball at the 20. He just takes it, and he's going to get close to the 30 and going to be brought down. That's number 23, Courtney Carroll. Courtney Carroll was the one that Weston kind of lowered his head on a while ago. That time he takes Weston's cousin down pretty well. 1:26 to go. Ball at the Prairie Grove 30. 3 timeouts the Tigers have. So
Prairie Grove's got big play potential. We know that. Even a field goal here, if you can get into range and give Landon a shot, that's that's certainly something you got to take a look at. But you can't turn the ball over, and you can't go 3 and out here and not run the rest of the second quarter out.
After the play, I have a comment about Landon, and we were talking about watching him in the pregame. The Prairie Grove spread out. They have 4 out on this one. There's looks, throws. He's got a man open, complete, and out of bounds. No, I was going to say, before the game, you talked about Landon hitting a 52-yarder. And one of the things that I saw, Landon was hitting some good. He wasn't consistent in the warm-ups. He hit a few, he missed a few. So Tigers pick up about 7 yards on that. So it's going to be second down 3 from their own 37.
7 yards out of bounds and stop the clock. That's a good play.
Absolutely. Boy, would love to get something down the field here. 1:21, and Tigers again get the ball to start the second half. So if they can make something happen here. Trying to bust something there. Going to need a timeout here. We're going to try to do anything. I think he's just trying to bust something there, Zach.
I think he's just trying to get a yard or get that first down, but
no timeout. And I think with Coach After, if he doesn't make it here, he's not going to, That's the front of Stuttgart tonight. Number 56, Chris Hooks, 234. And Taylor Daniels, 216. Those guys have done a great job, and now that's not going to be a first down, and so the Tigers.
Yeah, Stuttgart's going to call timeout.
Stuttgart's going to call timeout with 39 seconds to go, and so the Tigers are going to have to punt. Stuttgart's going to have 1 timeout. They lead 18-7.
Outside of the drive that got inside the 10-yard line, Prairie Grove's drives have been 3 plays, 6 plays, 2 plays. They've not been able to sustain anything offensively, and like you said, a lot of it has to do with the front of Stuttgart. They are controlling things up front. Prairie Grove's got to get that figured out, or we could be looking at some trouble here in the second half.
Well, looking here at the comments page, Tiger alumni for A2 rooting for the fellas, sitting by the fire watching the fight. Jeff Music, Matt still watches from Afghanistan. That is great.
Wow.
Ian Whitehouse, his father's at the Razorback game tonight. He's giving a play-by-play through text. Greta watching from Prairie Grove. Other anonymous thank yous to PG Telco. Again, go to the Facebook of PG Telco. Let them know what you think. Kaylee Anderson also rooting on the Tigers tonight and giving much appreciation to PG Telco. 39 seconds to go in the first half. Tigers trailing 18-7, and they're going to have. Tonight, Zach, and just a comment from someone else, and I'll get to that after the punt here by Speed. Good snap. Get it away. Does, and now.
I don't think Ice is going to go anywhere near that.
Stop it. There we go. They're going to have 32 seconds. They're going to have decent field position. No, just a comment we just had from a text is that, we typically run the ball to open up the pass. Tonight, we may have to pass to open up the run.
Exactly. Yeah, they've, when was the last time they were down? Last year? At halftime? It might be the last time that Prairie Grove was down at halftime.
Yeah, because these other 2 games that we've been either tied or down 1 or something to that effect.
You can't let up any points here. If you give up points here, there's trouble on the horizon. If you can get out of this at 18-7, you get the ball first to start the second half, you get your defense right, you can make a ball game out of this, but you can't get burned deep here.
Need to get a little pressure here. And that is Luster. He's probably got Elkins almost 100 pounds, and Elkins able to bring him down, but Luster gets down to 40. 24 seconds to go. The Ricebirds have one more timeout, so
I think they're going to take it right
they're going to take it right here. 24 seconds to go. The Tigers need to keep them away from any kind of points right here.
That play's a killer. If you could have kept them hemmed in back in your own end, maybe you get out of here at 18-7, but you give up a 20-yard run to Luster. Stuttgart's run for 126 yards here in the first half, 224 yards total. Prairie Grove's got some work to do.
Nora's also watching, rooting on the Tigers.
Where's Marianne?
Marianne may be here
That's
tonight.
what I was going to say. We're close enough. She should be here.
Yeah. Anonymous, someone that's telling them to keep their head strong. You know, your hearts are stronger. You got to stay in it. That's right. You can't go in at half with your head down. I mean, Prairie Grove is running to a very good football team tonight. I wouldn't say as explosive as Nashville, but they are just powerful.
Yeah. Well, they've got the methodical precision of Pottsville.
Yeah. And
that was a team that gave Prairie Grove fits.
Well, the thing that I see that maybe that they have that Pottsville didn't is the size that they have. Some of the size they have
and the ability to throw.
Yeah. Well,
down the field.
Well, here we go.
And
First down and 10.
Ball
at the 42.
Now you got to watch Brown on the quarterback draw, keeper, running, anything like that.
And now here's a quick pass. He steps out of bounds. That's number 8. That's Hunter Harris. Down to 20 seconds. If the Tigers could keep them from getting a first and tackle them in bounds, that would almost run the clock out with 20 seconds. Can't give up the big play here, though.
Can't give up the big play, especially down the field where you could get a stoppage of the clock, a kill, and then get to run another play.
36-yard line of the Tigers. 20 seconds to go here in the first half. Ball's kind of floating across the middle. Intercepted. That's Colby Elkins. Elkins with the ball. He's going to have a pickoff, and that's a big defensive play. Nice tackle there on the return by Courtney Carroll. But Elkins, that ball just kind of floated out there, and now
and that's what I saw during the pregame was that after 20 yards, the ball tends to flutter, it tends to hang a little bit, and Colby took advantage of that one.
Alex Bowling watching tonight. He said, "Love the Tigers no matter what." And he gave us a little awesome announcing. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, Alex.
I don't even get called awesome at home.
We get called other things at home. So, first down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 29. 11 seconds to go. I want to give a shout-out to Jake McBride, who's back watching tonight and unable to make it down tonight, Jake. And now, Cooper, we're going to go deep. Going deep. It is picked off at the 31-yard line, so ball goes the other way this time, and that was Carroll who made the tackle and then gets a pickoff. Now Tigers going to have to hold one more play.
Yeah, they sure are.
I think here you put a couple of guys back deep.
Your best tackler way back deep.
18-7, Stuttgart leading. The Tigers lone touchdown. Now, the Tigers did make it down to the 10-yard line, unable to punch it in, and that was a 60-yard drive, just unable to convert. But then right after that, they give the ball to Ricebirds. They were able to hold it. Let's see, the Ricebirds.
Maybe.
And they take a knee, and that's going to do it. Well, after one half of play, the score, the Stuttgart Ricebirds 18, the Prairie Grove Tigers 7. For halftime tonight, we're going to do our best to let you be able to hear the band. We don't have our normal setup that we do at home where we're able to have our mic that picks it up, but we're going to do our best. Zach and I are going to take a little break, and then we'll come back for you towards the end of the half with some stats. Thanks for watching PG Tiger Football.
They made a statue
You may take the field, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Prairie, Arkansas. Here's on.
feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prairie would like to thank you for your kind attention to our show. The directors of the band are Gary Nichols and Mr. Neil Moss. Have a great year. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, Stuttgart Public Schools are proud to present the pride of the wrestling, the Stuttgart High School Marching Raspberry Band. The band is under the direction of Kevin Sherman, Robert Brown, and Shannon Hogan. The band is under the field direction of drum major Christopher Scheider. The color guard captain is Radis Bowden, and color and co-captain is Shayna Frizay. Our contest show this season is entitled Rocking the Prairie. Tonight we would like to perform a medley of 80s and 90s rock hits. Mr. Scheider, is the band ready?
Okay, we're back with you, and the Stuttgart band's going to finish up here, Zach. We got about 4 minutes here before we start the second half, and just looking through the comments page here. Wow, stepped away from halftime. Gosh, there's a ton, and I may have missed some. Just if I do, I apologize. Let's see if we can get more posts out here. Okay, here we go. Matt Steele, even halfway across the world, my buddies and my platoon watch all. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Keep those feet moving. Matt Steele, thank you for serving our country, Matt. Appreciate that.
That's great.
Drew Cates, fight back, Tigers. You can do this. Again, others. Maggie Jones, go Jared, cheering you from Centerton. Maggie and James Jones. Jeff Music, again, asking to go Tigers. Keep it up. Garrett Doss, come on Tigers. And then the sound was good for halftime. Good to hear that. Tom Spann, I love the broadcast. Live in Benton. First class job. Tom, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Come on Tigers, you can do it. With John, Jared Weston, go. And then Tommy Faulkner. Okay, we just those who may be they're playing the Notre Dame fight song, and my partner here, Zach Arns, a big Notre Dame fan. He is standing and saluting, and he has a right to. Notre Dame, after 25 years absence, is relevant again. So
you know what I told somebody this week? I said, with my luck, the Mayans will be right.
Well, we got an updated score. I think Ozark is now up. They're up on Highland 14-12, and so that's a little bit of surprise for me. I mean, we played Ozark.
Ozark's a good football team, and maybe Richard makes a bigger difference than we gave him credit for.
But he's definitely it's
been interesting. I'm surprised. Frankly, I'd heard a lot about Highland. I thought Highland was probably the favorite in that game. To see Ozark go down there and compete, that's really good for the 1-4A.
Yeah, and Ozark will be. There'll be a force to reckon with whoever wins this game. And, even though the Tigers, you got the feel of this game in the first half, Zach, that, Stuttgart has kind of had control of the game, and they have. They played at their pace and everything. But, the Tigers are not out of this, especially the fact that we've had a couple of comebacks the last couple of weeks. That's the guys have the confidence, but I think they need to strike quick in the second half to say we're not going away. Third quarter has not been good to us in the playoffs.
Third quarter's not been good to Prairie Grove during the playoffs. They've been outscored 42-20. And you can't have that kind of breakdown in this third quarter. We're going to have to start the bus.
We may have some great fourth quarters, but that would be too much to overcome at that point.
Just something that sticks out to me. Prairie Grove's run 24 plays in the first half for just 72 yards. That's an average of 3 yards per play. Prairie Grove, 39 passing yards, and maybe even more shocking than that is the 33 rushing yards. When was the last time Prairie Grove threw for more than they ran for? Conversely, Stuttgart's run 27 plays for 230 yards, 104 through the air, 126 on the ground.
So they've been very balanced.
Very, very balanced. But they've had big plays in both, not so much in the running game. It's been steady. It's been 3, 4, and 5 yards
they have set up some big plays.
Exactly. Brown is 3 out of 4 with the 1 interception, a big interception by Colby down here before the end of the half. And Prairie Grove, like you said, needs to come out and score. They need to get 7 on the board. If they can get this thing to 18-14 and keep the pressure on, get it into the fourth quarter, we've got ourselves a ball game. But if you come out, you go 3 and out, and you get the ball right back to them, we could be in for it could be an uphill fight. But Prairie Grove has the potential. They've got big play players. They've just got to get some guys going.
Looking at their player, Luster 5 carries for 41 yards, a little over 8 yards a carry. And Danielle Brown, he's been the workhorse for them, the quarterback, 14 carries, 78 yards, 5.6 a carry. He has a touchdown, and he's thrown for 2. And Colby had initial good coverage, and then
he just lost space relations with Ice. I mean, he didn't bite on the fake. He kept his feet, and then Ice just kind of ran past him, and Colby got caught looking in the backfield. The second one was just, Logan tried to undercut the route. Bobby, saw him coming. They didn't want to have a collision, so he stopped, and that led to the second touchdown, the Curtis touchdown. And I was talking to one of the radio guys from Stuttgart, and he said, your boys play. He said they hit hard. And he said nobody's come out and really hit them this hard in the playoffs. And and I told him, I said, this team will play. They'll play 48 minutes.
And we got a couple more comments I'm going to address, but here comes the kick to start the second half, and the Tigers. That's a very good kick. Going to be fielded right around the 5-yard line. Prairie Grove going to take it. And there's
Logan.
That's Logan.
Go, Logan.
Go, Logan. Go, Logan. It's a 50, 40, 30, 20. 10, and he's going to be down around the 3-yard line in a big play to start the second half, Zach.
Well, we said they needed to come out and score, and special teams have been huge tonight with the block punt for the touchdown, and now you get a nice, what was that, a 90-yard kickoff return?
Well, let's see. He got it at the 5. He's going to be marked at the 3. The Tigers hoping to be the first team to score an offensive touchdown. But, you know, Zach, we talk about offense and defense enough. What we don't talk about is that third aspect of the game, which is special teams. And tonight they've been a big part for Prairie Grove. We got some others watching for Beverly Hills, Florida. Aunt Sherry of Brandon Taylor. Carrie Anderson, Tiger Lump said, let's go Tigers. And let's go Prairie Grove. And from the I formation are the Tigers.
It's JD. Man, yards are hard to come by.
I'll tell you what, up the middle is not much going for the Tigers. JD speed on the carry, no gain. Tigers may have actually lost a yard there. 2nd down and 4 for the Tigers. I was hoping Logan would get it in. I didn't want to have to even fight for 3 yards. It's been tough going, but the Tigers need to get this punched in. The Prairie Grove crowd is on its feet across the way.
Let's not panic here. A field goal doesn't hurt you. I mean, yes, you want the 7, but 3 points. You know, points are the points are the goal here.
Pitch this time, speed trying to get the corner. He's nothing going again, and
They're losing yards.
He may have gotten back to the line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. And now Cooper Winter is going over to Coach Absher to get the play this time.
Yeah, they're trying to get outside. They're just getting
not a bad play that time.
Yeah, they're just getting too much penetration, and it's just stringing the sweeps out. That was just a quick pitch.
Down to 17 seconds, and the Tigers, you know, boy, after a big opening kickoff like that to start the second half, they need something here for the Tigers. And now Cooper, he's going to be short. He's going to be close, but he's going to be down to about the 2. So it's going to be 4th and 2. I think you said that you know points matter, but I think
points makes it a 1-score game. I think he's going.
Looks like he's going to go. He's going to probably call a timeout here.
I definitely think he's. We've got a conference going on over there. I guess maybe they're going to let the play clock run down.
Well, I tell you, the Rice Birds have been stingy on defense, and they've taken a lot of pride of that defense not being scored on in these playoffs. And even Prairie Grove starting at the 4-yard line has not been able to punch it in and been able to manage just 2 yards.
And you need 7 here.
Go Tigers! James Waddell watching from Clinton, Missouri. R.T. Waddell, player from the past. He's in Dallas, Texas. At SAGU watching the game. Jason and Helen also watching. Again, really appreciate everybody watching. Zach, I'm impressed with what Rice Birds have done down here.
Yeah, they're
the play. I didn't mind the. I haven't totally disagreed what we've done down here. You know, from a standpoint of you're at the 3, you try to go at the middle, didn't get much. Try to go outside. Try to Cooper a keeper.
Yeah, I think you got to use not JD speed, but speed to the outside here. Whether it's Weston, whether it's Logan, whether it's Colby, whether it's JD, I think you've got to get to the outside and try and outrun him to the corner because you're just not getting a whole lot going straight ahead.
Well, I didn't see who the young man was from the Rice Birds. Here it is. That's a fumble. A fumble on the play. The Tigers tried to run up the line and snap quick, and the Rice Birds stopped the Tigers. And and I didn't catch the player who knocked Logan out at the 4-yard line. Big play by not giving up.
Huge,
and,
absolutely.
And
huge.
now the Tigers.
I mean, all the air just went out of the balloon.
You could just feel it. I mean, and we lost a couple yards on the fumble there, and boy, that takes a lot of starch out of the shirt.
Yeah, it sure does, boy. That is just. Prairie Grove, 21 carries, 35 yards tonight.
And that was just, Lee Eilers wants to say thanks, and thanks to PG Telco. Timeout for the Rice Birds.
No, we got a flag down.
Let's see.
It's got to be a legal substitution.
Jessica Hubbs, just a shout-out for my husband that is deployed in Afghanistan. He supports the Tigers, wishes them well. His brother's in the band. Thank you, and thanks for serving our country. John Isegard, I'm from Farmington rooting for the Tigers. We don't have that much.
No, you don't see that very often.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that. And, You know, Farmington made a nice run last year in the playoffs and it represented us well. There's a step off. That's going to help out the Tigers. Lee Arlett's, again, he thanks us, and PG Toko and Jeff Music. He's on here a lot tonight. He says he's biting his nails. Jeff, don't bite them all off.
Don't do that.
First down, and let's call it 13 to go for, or let's call it 12 for the Ricebirds. Tigers need to stop, and boy, what an incredible defensive stands there by the Ricebirds. A lot of credit there, and in the shotgun is Brown. Brown's going to just take it over the right side, and he's met. Not much going that time. The Tigers, he's going to get back. He's not even making it back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be second down and 11.
Well, I think for Stuttgart here, obviously you be careful. You don't turn the ball over. But for them, they can just milk the clock here. Getting the stop's a win. You know, they're playing with the lead. They can afford to take their time. And you know, for Prairie Grove, you need a turnover. You need a quick stop here. Get the ball back to your offense. And I think you got to start to open it up. Learned some wonderful insights from the radio guys from Stuttgart during halftime.
You can share them here in just a bit. There's Brown again. He's got a lot of room. He may go. And Brown up over the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Colby Elkins. And, boy, Zach, that stop goal line stand just was a huge, huge momentum swing. Prairie Grove looked like they were going to get right back into this game. And now they had the Ricebirds back inside their own 10, and now they're out to the 42. And
now you need to stop. Now you need to stop. And it doesn't matter where the stop comes. You just can't give up points. And what they're doing is not complicated. You just have to be disciplined, and you have got to defeat your one-on-one matchup, whether you're in the interior line, a linebacker, whatever it is.
And there's Brown.
And they're just not doing
that time met in the hole. And that was J.D. Speed that time. He met him in the hole. No gain on the play. May have even lost the yard. One of the few lost yard plays tonight.
That's a good play. I think that was Nodier who got him. I don't think J.D.'s out there. Boy, it is hard to tell with those numbers, isn't it?
Leslie J. asking them to bring their comeback game. Boy, we're going to need something tonight. These Ricebirds are tough.
They're very good. They're very disciplined. No penalties tonight except for the illegal substitution.
Second down and 10. And now bringing some pressure. Brown is in trouble. They're going to get him. Yes.
Get him?
No. He's still up.
Tough.
He is strong. You know, I read where he benches over 300 pounds. He's a big kid. Woo. And strong, and you saw that strength right there. Had him in the grass there for maybe a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Down from the backside. I think that was Dalton coming from the backside. And
I'm noticing Prairie Grove starting to see a little more pressure.
They're starting to dial it up.
Yeah, they're
going to have to. They're going to have to shut down the running lanes.
Well, one of the things that I think that we're going to see probably Prairie Grove on offense, they're going to have to spread it out because, Zach, running game, we saw right there, our running game just was not effective at the goal line. When we can't get 3 or 4 yards with our wing T offense, we're in trouble. Third down 11.
Here. Got to be careful.
Low snap, little screen. Got it. And he's going to get the first down. That is the first down. Wayman Johnson. Good call there by the Ricebirds. Excellent call.
Yeah, they recognized that the blitzes were starting to come, and what's the best way to defeat a blitz? Screen pass.
Prairie Grove had done a nice job that time and really can't afford to got some other Aaron Cruz watching. We're a second half team with endurance to go 6 quarters.
Yeah, I hope so.
We got to have a stop here. And there's Brown just to keep again. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. Nick Sugg on the tackle. Also, Bo Thompson from Huntsville. He said these men are playing hard. Candace Wynn cheering from Farmington. Thank you. Looking for Connor West. So a lot of people out there tonight watching, Zach. I wish we could give them a little bit better show than we've been able to do so far. Second down and 7 for the Ricebirds. We're halfway through the third quarter, and the score remains 18-7. And there's Luster.
Oh.
They are just so powerful, Zach. That's the difference I've seen with them and any team we played thus far is just they're just powerful.
Yeah, they're really starting to take it to Prairie Grove.
And this drive, remember, this drive started This drive started at their own, really, it got backed up. It started at their own 2-yard line. So 3rd down and about a yard. Brown under center. He's just going to go straight forward.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him. They put it down at the 35.
And if they put it at the 35, he will have the first. It looks like he's going to get a good spot there. I think they're going to met. That's 4th down. Boy, if it was any way, I tell you, if I'm the Rice Birds here, I hate to say if I'm the Rice Birds, that Luster's getting it for
me. Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it's going to be Brown or it's going to be Luster, and you know that.
They're going to measure here. 5-13. He is short. He's short by about a half a yard. So with 5:13 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's 4th and about a yard. Ball at the Prairie Grove 36-yard line. You got Big Luster back there. He's got the first. Good momentum. He's going to be inside the 35, down about the 34. So Brown picks up the 1st down, and the Tigers. It's like Nick Suggs going to have to come out of the game. Helmet came off. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, Zach. This is the clock. If they score, the clock will be a huge factor.
Yeah, the Prairie Grove needs a break here. They've got to either come up with a turnover. They've got to do something here.
They've got to have something here to stop. It's 18-7, and they had a beautiful opportunity to start the 2nd half. Kept out of the end zone, and it's 4:48 to go. And here's the pitch. That's Ice. He's going to pick up 5-6 yards. And, again, looked like Prairie Grove had it defended pretty well that time. Just he's going to get 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 for the Rice Birds. Tigers need a stop. Rice Birds started this drive inside their own 5-yard line. They've almost run the entire clock off here in the 3rd quarter. And there's Big Luster. And Luster lowers his head. He's going to be inside the 15, down to about the 11, 13-yard line, I guess.
Well, you got to get a stop here. Now, you not only have to get a stop, you got to get the ball. And
well, even if you could hold them to a field, all the way they're moving the ball, if you could hold them to a field goal, you're still within 2 scores. You go down 3 with this team, and the magic comeback will be difficult. And there is Luster again, going to be held up around the 10-yard line, picks up 3 yards. Luster is a load.
He is a load, and again, it's nothing complicated. They're just forcing Prairie Grove to win one-on-one matchups with their offensive line, and right now Stuttgart's just dominating.
And Prairie Grove's defense has been on the field a long time tonight. Same way that happened in the 1st quarter, we're seeing in the 3rd quarter. Prairie Grove had the ball, start the quarter, probably ran off maybe 2 minutes down inside the line, and now the Rice Birds have held it since then about 7 minutes.
And it's not like they haven't had chances. I mean, you get the ball inside the 5-yard line and you go 4 and out. I mean, those are chances that you've got to take against, we talked about margin for error.
There's Brown. Brown's in the end zone. Touchdown for the Rice Birds. And that's going to stretch the lead to 24-7. And now with a 24-7 lead from Stuttgart, Prairie Grove will have to find something to change momentum soon, or Zach.
It's now or never.
Yep.
It comes down to this drive, now or never. Your season's in the balance right now. If you're going to try and make your comeback, this is the drive.
24-7 in to try the extra point. Marco Lara. Actually, that was a different kicker this time. Number 2, that was number 2, Jackson Kennedy. He's a junior, and that's the first time he kicked. The other time we had a different kicker, so he makes the extra point, and it's 25-7. Stuttgart is in control of this game as we head to the fourth quarter. If I'm not mistaken, it's been 10 years since Stuttgart won the state championship. I think they're
2002.
2002, yeah. And they look very powerful.
They look
tonight.
every bit the state
tonight.
championship contender tonight.
Yeah,
but they've got
absolutely.
to, Prairie Grove, this is now or never. I mean, this is it. You're down 18. You got to start your comeback somewhere. We've scored 20. The fourth quarters belong to Prairie Grove. They've outscored their opponents in the playoffs 56-6. But you're facing a different kind of team here. You're playing your first real defensive team that's not giving you a lot of room to breathe. And I think we were talking about it at halftime. I mean, Prairie Grove's going to have to spread some things out, get it to their playmakers in space, and see what they can do. Halbert, I don't think he doesn't have a catch tonight. He hasn't even been targeted for a catch. They've taken him away. They've taken Logan away. They've taken Weston away.
Here comes the kick. Going to go again. Bartholomew, he's going to get it up to the 35-yard line. DJ Williams cheering from Green Bay. The kids can't quit. Let's see, Alicia A. thanking PG Telco. Garrett Doss. Holding boys, here we go. Riley G. Tiela McMahon from Jonesboro. Vicky Nichols. I saw Angie and Dennis Gill watching. Someone from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, home of the LSU Tigers. Now here comes Cooper Winters. He's going to hand it to Weston. Weston, nothing going there, 56.
The Prairie Grove offensive line's just getting beat at the point of attack by those 3 very, very good defensive linemen from Stuttgart. They're just getting no push whatsoever. And I know that you're trying to spread them out and create some seams, but
I think at this point you're going to have to really open it up here, Zach. We're getting nothing on the run there, no gain, and Stuttgart has been the board I described. Now we're 5 wide. The only thing I can describe them is just powerful. And now shotgun. Here is Winters. Passes. Oh, off the hands.
And we're just seeing things that Prairie Grove has not done all year. Drop passes. We haven't seen the offensive line get beat like this at all.
And I think what happens sometimes too, Zach, is it's a confidence level thing here too.
Sure.
And you some of these guys have probably been hit tonight. You're going across the middle. You don't. There's some of that goes on. It's 3rd down and 10. Tigers have 4 to the right side. And sacked in the backfield. And now Stuttgart starting to feel it. That was number 55, Taylor Daniels.
They played that bunch formation real well. There was nobody open. Cooper looked to 1, 2, and 3, and then tried the backside, and there's just nothing there.
That was good defense, just great defense there, and they have really held the Tigers in check tonight. 25-7, Stuttgart. And with 1:38, now down to 1:35 to go here in the third quarter. If there's going to be a fourth quarter magic tonight, Zach, they've been able to do it a couple of weeks in a row. It'll have to be a total facelift of what we've seen so far tonight. Good punt there by JD. Let that roll on down, and they're going to be down to about the 43-yard line. And I'll tell you, Zach, that last drive that they went basically the length of the field after holding Prairie Grove, that was a 14-point swing.
That's a championship-level drive right there. I mean, they went right down the field. They converted a 3rd down, had a 38-yard run on a 3rd down. And, for Prairie Grove, you just keep playing. Keep playing. You never know what's going to happen. You get a turnover, a block punt, and you're right back in the game. But, man, something's got to happen, and it's got to happen soon.
One of the Shiloh fans sharing something with us, Billy Evermore, the head coach here at Stuttgart, was the head coach at Glen Rose when they defeated Shiloh in I think it was the 3A state championship in 2007. And now going deep, trying to end it. They're looking.
There he is.
And again, that was Elkins, and that was Ice that got it again, and it was almost similar to the touchdown play.
Yep. Colby just looking in the backfield. You got to look at your man, know where he is.
And now the Ricebirds really trying to put the nail in the coffin.
They're going for it now.
They've seen Prairie Grove come back. And they're like, we're going to make this thing
make it as
leave
difficult
no doubt.
as possible.
Alicia Upton, thanks to PG Telco for watching tonight. She's an 09 alumni. Well, they got it first down and 10 inside the 15, and there is Brown, and he's going to go to the end zone, and that's it. Now it's 31-7, and then and the Rice Birds have really poured it on now.
It's the same play they've been running all night. It's you fake the jet sweep, you get some guys moving away from him, and then you just read the defensive end. If he comes in, you go out. If he goes out, you go in.
Watching right there, Zach, one of the things that for the first time tonight, I saw some body language on that touchdown just from the players that they saw the opening, and it was almost it was just a little bit of that there. And now here's Kennedy for the extra point, kick on the way, and it's good. And with 1 minute to go here in the third quarter, it's the Rice Birds 32, the Tigers 7.
Yeah, you just got to give them credit. I mean, they're executing. They're not turning the ball over. No penalties. They're doing what good teams, what championship teams do.
And you think about it. I mean, the one turnover they had was they had an interception right there before the half, and we also saw a one penalty they had, and then the Tigers have had a couple of turnovers. Oh, they also had the turnover on the punt. But they haven't made a lot of mistakes, and they're just powerful.
And that's the best word that you can use. And they don't make mistakes, offensively or defensively. We haven't seen a lot of guys running free in the secondary outside of the 1 4th down that they converted. There just hasn't been a lot for Cooper to do. He hasn't had a lot of time. They haven't been able to run the ball. It's just been it's been something that we haven't seen in quite some time.
Well, the other thing I would say that I'm seeing from Stuttgart tonight that I haven't really seen this much from Prairie Grove this year is Prairie Grove's getting whipped at the line of scrimmage tonight. And there's a short kick.
And that.
Is
Creighton?
That's Creighton Ledbetter, I believe. Big Creighton. He's still on his feet.
Still going. That's a center, guys. That's the offensive center. Does Creighton have a year left? Because I think we found a position for him.
Creighton is a senior, but my gosh, I love the fact that that showed a little fight there from Creighton Ledbetter. He's actually a 6'1", 194 senior. He plays on the defensive line as well as a center. So
plays center field on the baseball team.
What I would like to see right here, Zach, is no quitting the Tigers.
Right.
25 points. That's 4. You're 4 scores away. I mean, even if you get 3 touchdowns and all the extra, 2-point conversions.
You never know what can happen. I mean, but it's got to start here. If you're going to do it, you can't. Your margin for error is shrinking, and you've got to start getting some plays.
And now he's going deep. Knocked down by number 2, Jackson Kennedy.
He was going. Is that Halbert? It's so hard to tell.
Yeah, it's. I know Scott Suggs going to give us just total garbage about our inability to see the numbers. He gives me a hard time about it, but this white and from our distance is just so hard to see. I don't even think with binoculars.
No, I don't think we'd know if it would.
Here we go. Flags. Was there a timeout?
I think we got a motion. I think we got a legal motion.
If that's against the Tigers, I think that may be – well, no, it's not. It's going to be against Stuttgart.
Maybe they lined up in the neutral zone infraction? Yep.
I don't think the Tigers have had a penalty tonight. Now,
I think you're right.
We'll probably have one in just a moment. 32-7, and Stuttgart has just been dominant tonight. I can't say much more than that up to this point. 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers. Ball at midfield, and they're going to run the same play, and it's nothing going there. The ground game has just been totally shut down tonight. Well, just defensively, Stuttgart has just been tremendous tonight.
And you can see what you can do to a good football team. And Prairie Grove is a good football team, but you can see what you can do when you've got a dominant defensive line. And Stuttgart's really doing it with 3 guys. They're not blitzing.
No, they're not blitzing, and they're just very strong up front. And, you know, Zach, I know we're talking about 4A and we're seeing this, but, you know, whenever we talk in the college game and you talk about why the SEC does so well year in, year out, that's what it is. It's that front line that they will produce, and you can kind of even see it on a certain level here. They're coming after Cooper. Cooper's got a little running room. He's going to get a first down. And look at Coop. Coop's going to get – he's going to be –
He's still playing.
He's still in the game. He's down to about the 30-yard line. That's going to end the third quarter. And what I want to see tonight, Zach, in this fourth quarter, I want to see –
Finish.
I just want to see him finish strong. I'd love to see a comeback. I don't want
to – That'd be great.
Never quit, never get up. I got it. I'm just really impressed with the strength of the Riceburg. And Zach, you know, we talked about the last time that Prairie Grove made it to the semifinals in 2003. I was at the game in Rivercrest. Cold night that night, really cold. And it was it was a little bit of a similar game. You just saw Rivercrest that night, a very powerful, strong team, and that's what, you know, I'm kind of seeing tonight. They've whipped Prairie Grove up front.
They're just out executing Prairie Grove at this point. And, you know, Prairie Grove can, you know, if you can get it in the end zone here, make it 32-14, maybe you get a stop and get the ball back, and you never know what can happen. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep playing. You got 12 minutes left. And for the seniors, you got 12 minutes left in your football career.
Yeah, and I don't want to start talking like that just yet.
No?
I want to hold out some hope here. Tigers have got the ball at the 30-yard line. They're going to have to score quick here in the fourth quarter and often. Now, fourth quarter has been good to us the last 2 weeks. Can we have one more? Is there one more miracle, Zach?
Sure wouldn't mind outscoring them 56-6 in the fourth quarter. That would be a help, wouldn't it?
Well, last week outscoring the powerful Nashville team 27-6, but we're going to need a lot more than that tonight. Cooper Winters back to pass, pumps once, overthrows, throws it right to Ice.
And you got to get him on the ground.
Ice is going to be down to the 13-yard line, and
yeah, he just didn't plant his back foot and follow through.
Just overthrew him a little bit, and it went right in the hands of Draylen Ice, and he is, you know, he's a kind of a scat back there, you know, you would see from time to time on offense, and he was back there defensively that time. I was afraid he was going to take off with that thing.
Yeah, get him on the ground for sure. Now, you know, if you're Stuttgart here, this is Luster time.
Yeah, if you're Prairie Grove, I mean, if you're the Riceburgs here, unless you just kind of want to run it up, then now you could just throw it.
Prairie Grove's made some changes here. Jacob Storley's coming in. Boy, there's nobody back deep.
It's just going to be Brown and Luster time, I believe.
Play by Nick. Good play.
They're going to get him down about the 10-yard line.
Yep, Nick won his matchup. He beat Luster on the block and got into the midsection of Brown and brought him down.
If you're Stuttgart with a 25-point lead, you basically got the whole fourth quarter left. Is there a point if you're Stuttgart, you're thinking, okay, we are going to play next week, and you start, you know, making sure you don't get anybody hurt?
Probably after this drive. This would be the last one. You know, if you can, you know, I think the objective here for them is run as much time off the clock as you possibly can. You know, whether it's Ozark or Highland next week for Stuttgart, they better bring their defensive line.
And that's Luster. Gosh, he's strong. 5'7", 225. Bob Tomlinson, a PG alum of 69. No matter what, he's proud of the Tigers. One of the best teams in PG history. Bob, I agree with you. This has been a fun team to watch all year. They've run into a buzzsaw here tonight. We still got 10 minutes and 50 seconds left to pull something out, but this has been a incredible run. It's third down now and 5 for the Ricebirds. Like you said, it's Luster and Brown time here.
Sounds like a law firm.
And it's Luster. Can you get him down? No, he's going to be up. He's got the first down and more. He's going to be up around the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Prairie Grove's just not getting off blocks.
Storley and Halbert bring him down, and that's a big first down for Stuttgart. And we just heard the PA guy. He announced the score was Ozark 21, Highland 12.
That's surprising.
There's some flags down here. Prairie Grove, his guy Brad comes like, Prairie Grove's very overrated. They shouldn't have been in the playoffs. Brad, if they shouldn't be in the playoffs, neither should Nashville, neither should Pottsville. No, they've not played their best game tonight. They've run into a very good team. But appreciate you watching, Brad.
Probably from Crossett. Our fan.
And there's Luster.
Boy, he is tough.
He's
I
so
mean,
strong.
It's 1, 2. I mean, you're gonna have to tackle him with 3 guys. You can see Stuttgart's just taking their time. They're snapping the ball with about 2 or 3 seconds left, making sure they drain as much as they possibly can off of this. And, you know, it seems like every time they need 6 or 7 or 8 yards,
yeah, they get.
I mean, they get it. You know, it doesn't matter what they dial up; it works.
Well, I'll tell you, Stuttgart has been in these playoffs. That every team they've played. I mean, they beat a very good Warren team last week in similar fashion they've done to Prairie Grove tonight. There's Luster. He's going to get back close to the original line of scrimmage.
And still nobody's scored on them in the playoffs.
Yeah, and when Prairie Grove got the ball down to the 3-4 yard line, whenever it was a half, it was 18-7. You're thinking, okay, 18-14, we're back in this thing. And when they stopped them, and then drove the length of the field, it was like this huge balloon. Air just come out. Yeah,
it was. I mean, even up here in the press box, I mean, you could feel it.
And now here is Stuttgart. They're going to give it to Brown. He's going to get it about 3 yards. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 7. Ball at the 33. 8 minutes, 15 seconds to go. And I'm sure they'll let the 25-second clock run all the way down here and then punt. I assume they'll punt.
Yeah, we don't know.
They may not. The punt form that they had tonight is the one way Prairie Grove got their only touchdown, so they may not punt.
Yep, this is the formation. This is the punt formation.
He's going to back up a little bit this time. This time he's going to get the punt away, and ball's going to land. Going to be down at the Prairie Grove 44. 7:38 to go in the ball game.
One of those cheerleaders almost put one of those plastic footballs up here.
She's got an arm.
I know. Somebody needs to sign her up.
Tina in Boonville very proud of the Tigers. Somebody put my own name in here watching from Stuttgart. Anyway, yeah, I'm watching from Stuttgart.
Probably Henry. Well, it's time to. It's your last 7.5 minutes, and now they're
gonna call a timeout. It looks like
we got a penalty.
Is it a penalty?
Delay a game.
Oh,
we've been flirting with that for weeks. The delay of games, been running those clocks down, and it's just been that kind of night. It's gonna be a long drive home.
Yeah.
Those folks that ride the bus, I'm staying down here, but man, it's gonna be a long drive home. And now you're down to 7, 6, 5.
Going to happen again if we're not careful. Now Cooper's back. Looks, throws, complete.
I was talking to one of the radio guys here at Stuttgart at halftime, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you see the markings on the field. They're going to have to dig this field up at the end of the year because somebody came in before the season started, and that's weed killer. somebody came in and vandalized the field.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he said he said whatever they put on it was some pretty strong stuff. And they had security cameras around the stadium, but the cameras weren't working at the time. And he was saying they're going to have to dig this thing up after tonight. They're going to dig it up and start over again.
I'll tell you how unintelligent I am after this play. Prairie Grove is his winner's rolling to his left. He looks, throws, almost intercepted by John Curtis. I thought they were actually trying to draw a rice bird out there. I've seen it. They have some painted over here on the steps. I thought that's what they were trying to do out there.
No,
but I guess it was just vandalism.
That's sad.
3rd down and 7 for the Tigers. Cooper Winters back to pass, throws, knocked away by number 22. Good job by Jacob Clausen and intended for Colby Elkins. It's going to be 4th down. And
that's the old Bobby Petrino crossing routes. He had Colby and Dylan Reed coming on crossing routes using the referee as a screen, and Clausen just came back and made a nice play. Looks like Coach Absher's going to go.
Hey, he's kind of at this point. You got to keep the little, whatever fight you got left, you keep it in.
Look at Jared with the mismatch down here.
That might be where you need to go, and that's where they're going.
He's
holding.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're going to call
interference.
Yeah. Yeah, he was holding his shirt.
That's all he could do. I mean, that's the kicker, Kennedy, on Jared. Jared's 6'3", 245.
And Kennedy is 5'5", 141. So Jared literally has him by 107 pounds.
Yeah, that's a mismatch.
I just hope they didn't get a block in the back over here. If they call a block in the back after he was just absolutely holding him, I think that's what they're going to call.
They missed the interference down here in the goal line on Drew Conley.
They are calling that on Prairie Grove. Unbelievable. Well, no, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, he went back that way. I thought that's – yeah, holding. And now – I thought when he went back that way, Zach, I'm like, getting ready to go.
I think they were trying to figure out where the spot was.
Yeah, you're right. Because they get a 15-yarder on that where they would have – I think they get a little more yards with the pass interference play. Well, my bad for those
If you
watching.
Can isolate Jared again on Kennedy, I say you go after him. He's a foot taller and 107 pounds bigger.
And they've got that matchup again.
The matchup again. This is not a bad place to go.
Cooper, they're having a little hard. Now Cooper steps up, throws.
There it is.
And it's in. Touchdown. Give him 6.
Colby?
Halbert on the reception.
I think that's Colby. Is it Halbert?
I can't tell. No, I'm sorry. Dalton Falk. That's they can. Dalton Falk.
I can't tell.
I'm sorry, guys out there. It's Dalton Falk. Give him 6. 32-13. So the Tigers.
They get a break on the penalty and punch it in from there. It was a good play by Cooper. Let the rush go past him. He stepped up in the pocket and threw the ball down the field. And he threw it right on the money, too.
Well, at this point in the game, Zach, you're going to probably try to get any points you can. But I think, the one thing the Tigers may end up doing here. And now Coop throws, and it's good.
Yes, sir.
2-point conversion, 32-15.
Well, onside kick.
Yeah, you're at this point. You got to try it. You got to do it here. But the Tigers score the first touchdown on Stuttgart from an offense in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it was a great throw from Cooper. That's his his 9th touchdown of the playoffs.
He's thrown more touchdowns in playoffs.
Yeah, than he did all year long. Yeah.
Season. Yep.
They're still fighting. if they can recover an onside kick here, you could make it uncomfortable.
Yeah, it would be nice to make it uncomfortable, but I'll tell you, Stuttgart is.
And that wasn't Stuttgart's second team defense.
No,
those were the guys who've been playing all afternoon. And
And now the Tigers going to try the.
Nope, Jared's in.
Jared's going to try.
Looks like they're going to try one of those knuckleballs. I like that thing where you dribble it and let Jared just see if he can recover it.
And now 32-15, Tigers down by 17 with 6:18 to go in the ball game. And can they get any kind of life into this thing? And now it's going to be a good takes the right bounce.
Got it.
The Tigers got it.
We got it.
Did they have it? Oh,
yes,
they had it for a moment. I think they may have lost it, Zach.
They got it.
They had it for a moment. I'm not sure.
No signal yet.
I thought they had it at first, but I'm not sure they're going to end up with it. Nope.
Oh, wow. He had his hands on it.
Yeah, he had it at first. I don't think he came down with it. So, wait, they're still discussing it right here. There's a discussion down there, so we'll see. And the Tigers have it. So with 6:16 to go here, the Tigers,
we go.
Whatever fight they got left, they're going to go for it here. Like you said, Zach, they could make it uncomfortable.
They could make it uncomfortable. And you know what? Now is when you go for it. We used to call it $9.99. It's 4 verticals. Shotgun 4 verticals. Get decent pass protection. Find Jared.
32-15, the Tigers. Cooper Winters back to pass. He's rolling out. He just falls. He has slipped. He has slipped 3 or 4 times tonight, Zach. I don't know if it's
the field could be soft. But you're rolling him out. You were having success throwing the ball down the field. Now you've set yourself back almost 2nd and 19.
Yeah. And now the Tigers taking a little. You got to kind of have a little bit of sense of urgency here if you're going to try to make anything of this. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the ball game. Tigers trailing 32-15. Cooper Winters back to pass. Throws back.
Tight end throwback.
Nice job there by number 79, Dominique Kreiner.
Yeah, he didn't bite on the rollout. He just stayed with Jared.
A nice call, but a very nice defensive play there by Stuttgart.
They've tried that a couple of times here in the playoffs, and one time there was a guy from Nashville. If he'd been 5'11", he would have intercepted it. And now you've got to get at least.
Well, you got to
get 15 on this.
Yeah, well, you need to at least get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Taking a lot of time.
Well, that was incomplete. So
yeah, but the play clock's down to 8. I mean, they're taking a lot of time here. Down to 3, 2, 1.
Got it in time. He's got it across the middle. Get upfield. That's Elkins. Colby Elkins, the first down at the 35. So the Tigers.
Good play. Yep, do it again.
It'll take 2 more onside kicks, Zach.
Hey, you know what? You know what? With this team, anything is possible. Anything is possible, but you got to score quick here. They're going to start the clock, and you got to go.
Yeah, you got to get going. Prairie Grove with 2 timeouts left. 28-18, Ozark lead in Highland.
I think they're going to try Noah here. Well, you got a motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to try and get Noah on one of those wheel routes on the backside. They had him matched up on Kennedy, which is a mismatch.
Debbie and Jeff, Debbie, and John still rooting on Tigers. Daisy 22 showing appreciation this season for our commentating as well as Mr. Bond and the kids from East Lab, and she is exactly right. They have done a fantastic job. Our East Lab kids, they kind of took this over about 2nd or 3rd game as far as some of the production and stuff has been great. Brad's still poking at the Tigers, saying we don't have a snowflake's chance in Hades, but we're going to hang in here. So here we go.
Brad's just negative.
He's a hater. But here we go. Going deep. Woo. Overthrown.
I'll tell you what, Cooper put that one in the air 50 yards. Did we get a flag? I think we did. I think we got an interference.
An interference, or was it a late hit on the quarterback?
Where's the flag, though? I don't see a flag back here. I think we're downfield. The ref's standing down here at about the 8-yard line. I think we've got a either hold or interference. Nope.
They may have called an uncatchable there, Zach. I'm not sure.
Got interference.
Pass
Pass
interference.
interference, yeah.
That'll give the Tigers a first down with the ball at about the 21-yard line.
Well,
5 minutes,
the
10
Riceburg
seconds
crowd
to
getting
go.
uncomfortable. Yeah, they could make this uncomfortable.
I just wished it was 31 instead of 32.
Yeah, and you know what? This would have been nice to start about 10 minutes ago, but you know what? You take it when you can get it and keep going.
I like the fight, and that's what I want to see from the Tigers. Now Cooper Winter's going to keep it. No gain there. You're going to have to get to the line of scrimmage. They're tight on time here. Winters on the carry, and now he goes from the shotgun. Got 2 split to the right, 2 to the left. Prairie Grove left early that time. I don't know if they saw that. Complete. There's a lot of cushion. He's not going to make a first. He kind of ran backwards there. Nice tackle.
Go again. Got to go. Is that Halbert or Colby?
Looks like Elkins.
That was Dalton Falk. Yeah, we can't tell. We're blind.
And now, we have got nothing on the ground tonight. They're going to get Elkins in the backfield. It's going to bring up 4th down with 4:15 to go. He's going to lose almost 5 yards. It's going to be 4th down and 9.
Those sweeps, you're just the penetration's too great.
Now the Tigers going to use a timeout. Let's take this timeout with them. With 4:05 to go, the score: the Riceburgs 32, Tigers 15.
They made a statue of us and put it on a mountaintop.
All right, with 4:05 to go, 4th down and 9. And if there's any chance at all for the Tigers, which is slim even as we are right now, the balance is on this play. So 1 timeout left for the Tigers, 4:05 to go, 32-15. Riceburgs, who have played absolutely dominant football tonight, leading the Tigers.
Well, I asked one time, what do we have for 4th and 25, and that connected. What do you got for 4th and 9?
I like Murphy.
Oh.
A lot of pressure. Thrown into traffic.
Yep. Incomplete. You know,
he caught it. I think
Cooper
he was out
had
of the
some room. I don't know that he could have got 9, but he had some room when he got flushed out of the pocket.
Yeah, he may have could have run for the first, but with 3:56 to go, the Riceburgs going to take over. They lead 32-15, and the Prairie Grove still took the fight to them. You know, you can't just unable to convert after picking up an incredible onside kick. Patrick Jordan, appreciating the broadcast, still cheering on the Tigers. 3:56 to go in the game, 32-15. We appreciate all who have watched, all the appreciation to PG Telco, and stick with us here to the final minutes of the game. And now there is Luster. No, that.
Yeah, that was Luster.
Yep, Luster again. Luster's
down.
Boy, I tell you what, that's the thing right now. If you're Stuttgart and you're 3:45 away from playing in the state championship, you don't want to get anybody hurt.
No, you don't want any dings or bruises or anything like that. Prairie Grove's still playing. Got a lot of their seniors in. This is their. This is the last time.
What a great. And the Prairie Grove fans are still cheering them on. I mean, that's good to see. In spite of the fact, I mean, it's almost impossible. They're gonna go all the way down to 1. Now they call timeout. So the Riceburgs still with 2 timeouts left. 3:11 to go. 2nd down and 11.
Timeout, Stuttgart.
I think we knew back in August it was going to be a special year, and it certainly has been. I mean, I've had a ball doing this. I've had fun watching these kids. You know, I know a lot of them. I've known a lot of them since they were 6 and 7 years old, and it's tough to go out this way, but I guarantee you 20 years from now, the games they'll remember: Pottsville, Nashville.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I mean, those are games they're going to remember. And sadly for them, if they go to watch the games, we're going to be part of it.
Well, update on the Ozark score. Ozark leading 28-20, and Ozark still fighting for the 1-4A. And our friends from Ozark, if this holds out the way it looks like it's going to go, and you hold out and make it, you're going to have your hands full.
Yeah, and Ozark, one of Ozark's strengths is their offensive and defensive lines.
Oh, absolutely.
That'll be an interesting matchup to watch next week when they get down to War Memorial.
32-15, Tigers trail, 3:11 to go, second down and 11. Tigers won't get even if they hold, they won't get the ball back till about 2 minutes. And there's Brown, nice block there on the corner. Brown, he's going to pick up. He's going to be close to the first.
I think he's got it.
Pins on the spot. He may be about a yard. Well, if that's the.
Got out of bounds too.
That stops the clock with 3:05. And let's see, they got the first down. So that's one more.
We've got a conflicting score on the Highland game, 25-21. Oh my!
We have some conflicting scores on the Ozark and Highland game, so we'll hold commentary on that. There's Luster again. Luster breaking tackles. He's strong, powerful. Another first down. That's probably going to do it, Zach, with 2:55 to go, and that first down. And Luster, he's
just, who he reminds me of? Jacob Lester from LSU a couple of years ago. Just short, stocky, hard to bring down. Yeah, they're going to have to bring him out.
They need to take him out. You can't afford to get – I mean, he's too powerful of a back. Matter of fact, you're almost to the point where you want to take Brown out of the game as well.
Yeah, don't run him.
Well, with two – it sounds like it's 25-21 Highland, so that's the score that we've got. We've gotten one here 28-20, so I'm not sure for sure what the score is. So we've got conflicting scores on the Highland game. No gain on the play. That was Wayman Johnson.
Yeah, they haven't used him a lot in the ball game. He's had that one. He had a big screen or catch on a screen, but he's another one of their big play guys. He's been bottled up tonight. It's been pretty much Brown and Luster.
So everyone knows that does watch or keep up with Prairie Grove Tiger football, beginning tomorrow, like we usually just keep the latest game out for the year just under direction of the athletic department, but tomorrow morning we will have all the games will be posted for the year. So if you want to go back and watch some of the more exciting games of Prairie Grove, be glad to go out and do that. It'll be out there for you. There's Brown into Prairie Grove territory. 1:45 to go, third down, and Zach, we started talking about earlier, what a great season this has been for Prairie Grove, one of their best seasons they've had. And, we're a program up there that in the northwest part of Arkansas, and we've had our good years and not so good years, but, this has been a special season and a special group of young men, and they've run into a very good football team tonight in Stuttgart. And whether Stuttgart plays Highland or whether they play Ozark next week, they'll have their hands full with this team. And now Brown, he's going to be stopped.
Like Luster, he's just hard to bring down.
So the Tigers now, they're going to call a timeout, and that'll be fourth down. And let's see if they'll even punt it or they'll try to go for it and close it on out. 1:02 to go in the ball game. Again, while we've got a moment, I want to thank, first of all, PG Telco. PG Telco has made so much of this possible by letting us broadcast on their servers. They do a great job. Please go to their Facebook page and let them know how much you appreciate them. I know that Dale Reed and the folks there would really appreciate that. Also, I want to thank Dr. Williams, our school superintendent, and Mr. Bond, and a special thanks to Mr. Bond, who has I mean, he has been so involved with what we're doing with the webcast. He helped the school get involved, and he's been a great leader, and he's really rallied this East Lab group that Miss Burton heads up. He's helped rally them, bring them to the games, and they've been such a great help, all of them. And they're getting involved with our basketball season. We'll continue to webcast basketball, and just are so grateful to all those who make this possible, and appreciate those who are watching.
It's been a great year. We've had a great seat for it.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun.
We've had 50-yard line seats for all of this. And
I think there was one game we were about the 30 or 20, but we'll take
that's a small press box in another town. But man, it's been fun.
It's been a blast. I've enjoyed it, and just they're so thankful for all those who have who've made it possible, and for a great season for Prairie Grove. Wish the Riceburgs the best of luck as they move forward. There is Ice. Is he going to make the corner?
Yep.
If he does, they're going to call a flag. Not sure. I'm not sure.
I think we knew back in August, they had something special. And they didn't fail to deliver.
No, they
once,
didn't.
And
they did a great job. And even tonight, I mean, they got down here and 25-7, and then 32-7 in the fourth. And there was a penalty on that play. I think there was a horse collar there. But even with 1 minute to go, the Ricebirds are going to go to the state championship at War Memorial Stadium next Saturday night. Not sure who they'll be facing, whether it'll be Ozark or whether it'll be Highland. They're battling it out right now. We've got conflicting scores.
We don't even know what the score is over there, but they're going to be formidable, whoever they play, and I think they're certainly deserving of that number one ranking that they had.
All those, just so you know, I know there's a lot of people still commenting and probably talking very good things about the Tigers. I have a little iPad here that just powered down, and so thank all those who've been watching tonight. Now the Ricebirds are going to take a knee. They're in the victory formation, and they'll have to I don't think they may, by the time they get it spotted, they're not going to have to spot it. Well, congratulations to the Stuttgart Ricebirds on a great game tonight. We congratulate them and wish them well in the state championship game. We want to definitely congratulate Coach Danny Apsher and his staff and those seniors and that team that has come out here tonight, one of the best Prairie Grove teams that we've had. We thank them for a great season. And, Zach, any final comments before we sign off tonight?
I'm sad to see it end. I really am. I mean, these kids are easy to root for.
Yeah.
For those from Prairie Grove, I mean, you know them. You've seen them grow up, and they're easy to root for. They're good kids, and they're not only good kids. They're good. They're good football players, and they'll be back next year. This team's still got a lot of talent in the junior and sophomore classes, and they'll be back next year. But for guys like Weston and Cooper, and I'm
Jared Murphy,
I'm gonna miss a lot of guys here. But all that senior class, man, they were the glue that got this thing going.
Yeah, and just Zach, I want to thank you. I always enjoy coming to the games, and we talked throughout the week about the games, and I enjoy.
At 7 o'clock this morning, you were wound up.
Yeah, I was wound up at 7 a.m. this morning. I dropped some stuff over at your house, and but I thank you for this is just a lot of fun. And
it's been a pleasure, bud.
Yeah, absolutely,
it's been a pleasure.
And lastly, again, thanks to all the East Lab kids and Miss Burton. You guys are fantastic. Keep up the good work during basketball. Wish you well with what's coming up with you here in the next couple of weeks. And Zach, thanks again. And that's going to do it for the 2012-2013 Prairie Grove football season. They end the season at 12-1, semifinalists, losing tonight to a very good Stuttgart team, 32-15. For Zach Arns, I'm Lynn Gregson. And for our East Lab students and Mr. Bond, thank you and have a good night. We'll see you at basketball season.